But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at inspiresleep.com. That's inspiresleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip of the day. There's only one Kobe Cooling in Southwest Florida with our 100% NATE certified mechanic team. There's a couple of firms with similar names, but don't be fooled. There's only one Kobe Cooling, voted the best AC contractor year after year in the news press polls, and the only firm with a 100% NATE certified mechanic team to give you the best possible mechanics that'll take care of your air conditioning needs. Kobe Cooling, the one and the only and the best AC company in Southwest Florida. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949. License CACO 57313. Call us at 239-482-1542.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. If you're waiting for a call back about vaccine registration in Lee County for COVID-19, you still may receive one. The CEO of the company running the Lee County call center says they'll continue to call people today to get them signed up for a time slot. Also, if you're expecting a call back, you have to answer it. If you don't answer the call, you lose your place in line to make an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Charlotte County is vaccinating people today and Wednesday by appointment only. However, all slots are filled. We know more dates will be announced very soon. And many of you who were lucky enough to get your first dose of the vaccine are wondering where and how you'll get your second shot. In Collier County, expect an email 21 days after your first vaccine. Now, in Charlotte County, they don't anticipate anyone needing their second dose next week, but they hope to have appointments available. In Lee County, they're sticking with the appointment system, and they're still working on logistics to make sure first and second dose individuals are not mixed together. Vaccinations begin today for those with appointments in Lee County. They will be given at the old airport terminal right off I-75. It's recommended to get there early. Southwest Florida International Airport says they will see heavy traffic on the north side of the airport property. DeSoto County is doing first come, first serve for people 65 and older at the Turner Center in Arcadia Wednesday. In Hendry County and in Glades County, all appointments are booked for clinics in LaBelle, Clewiston, and Moore-Haven for a COVID-19 vaccine. Those appointments were taken by phone. A pedestrian who was hit by a deputy has died. The Florida Highway Patrol says the 70-year-old died last weekend. Troopers say the man stepped into a travel lane just north of Tree Farm Road. That deputy was placed on administrative leave as part of a sheriff's office review. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A clear and quiet commute early on this morning all across Southwest Florida. Right now we're crash-free across Lee, Collier, and Charlotte County. Starting to see some delays building up right now along Lee Boulevard, not too far off of State Road 82. I-75, though, moving nice and smooth early on this morning, as is US 41. Our bridges between Cape Coral and Fort Myers running at about 2 to 3 minutes in each direction. Similar conditions on the Caloosahatchee and Edison in and out of downtown Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the chilly start with 40s and 50s, a nice and sunny day. Enjoy it. It will be cooler than normal with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. back down into the 40s and 50s. Have that jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning. Rebounding to near 70, mostly sunny during the afternoon. Next chance of rain with just a few passing showers will be Friday morning with a cold front that reinforces our cool weather pattern towards the weekend. Highs in the 60s for your Saturday, clouds and sunshine, and then mostly sunny near 70 by Sunday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
True relief for back and neck pain. Here at Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, we focus on back and neck related conditions like stenosis, sciatica, neuropathy, and bulging discs that can cause weakness, numbness, or pain. Being an innovator in non-surgical techniques, I have developed unique and extremely effective spinal decompression protocols for overcoming these chronic and debilitating conditions that don't involve any medications or surgery. This 3-step VAX-D spinal decompression approach uses a patented computerized table that decompresses the spine to gently remove pressure off pinched nerves and increase blood circulation to the area. For young or old, and so comfortable that most patients almost fall asleep while on the table. No hanging upside down. With this award-winning technology, back and neck pain can be a thing of the past. We always offer a no-obligation consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and we've got my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters in Naples, on the phone. And Dave, I got to tell you, the selection of floor coverings of Floor Meisters, unbelievable, fantastic. I've seen it myself, and the choices are there. But what we really want to talk about today is this Dreamweaver line of carpets. Talk about it.
I'll tell you what, Drew, this is the hottest thing since 5-buckle overshoes. We're just selling the heck out of it. Comes in 9 different patterns. 12 colors to a pattern. It has 8 warranties, and it even includes steps. The stain warranty will take care of wine, mud, and even pet accidents. So this is perfect for Jake.
Yeah, perfect for Jake, and perfect for me, and perfect for you, too. If you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, really owe it to yourself to visit their store, see their selection of Dreamweaver carpets. It's there at 6281 Naples Boulevard, next to Costco. And whether it's carpet, tile, laminate, or hardwood flooring, they have it all. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need certainty in the home buying process with a loan that fits your life, Rocket can.
Newsmax TV is the biggest thing on cable news, with shows including Dick Morris, Rudy Giuliani, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, and more. Every night, watch Newsmax's #1 show, Greg Kelly Reports. Greg Kelly tells you the truth about Trump. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Check your guide or tell your operator you want Newsmax. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax TV. And download the Newsmax app on your smartphone. It's free, so get Newsmax TV anytime, anywhere.
You know where you were when the Golden State Killer was arrested. You're a moderator on the Zodiac Killer subreddit. But now you're in search of a new challenge. Enter Solve, the hit podcast that puts you at the center of the investigation. Solve is like no other murder mystery podcast. You'll track down killers hiding in plain sight.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just disturbing. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Not like this.
Listen to Solve wherever you get your podcasts.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate you subscribing to the channel to help keep us going. Let us know you're there. And anytime you want to watch, many of you have taken to Facebook, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio or facebook.com/925 Fox News. We appreciate all the views. Thank you so much. Well, here we are, everybody. Today is the day. Today is one of the 2 days this week that we've been waiting for. And how many of you are ready for Election Day Part 2? Here we go. It's Election Day 2020, 2021. And This is going to be a big day. And the president yesterday out in Georgia, and we're going to play some clips from his visit and this rally in Georgia, and a couple of things that come to mind immediately. The first thing that you think about when you see the president there in Georgia is, how is it possible that this person lost? How did Donald Trump lose the state of Georgia, Michigan? I mean, you want to go down the line? We can go down the line. How did he lose this election? When you see how many people showed up yesterday, it's incredible. And one of the things that I was talking to somebody yesterday, and here's what we should do. I'll tell you what. Instead of having an election, why don't we do this? Check this out, Jake. Here's a thought for you. How about instead of doing an election, we just have Joe Biden, Donald Trump show up in the same state in two different locations, and let's see who shows up for each candidate. And then whoever gets the most people wins. Let's just do that. I mean, Democrats love that whole, that we live in this democracy and worried about the democracy dying in darkness and democracy that we are. And of course, we're not. We're a constitutional republic. There's a big difference. But majority rules, that's what we want. Okay, let's have the majority rule of the people that show up for a Trump campaign or a Trump rally, as opposed to a Biden rally. And let's see who really cares. You realize that Democrats don't want any part of that. They don't, because they know what you know. That as much as they would like to believe that 80 million, no, what was it? Like, I think the last count was 627 million people showed up for Joe Biden to vote for him in the 2020 election. I think a lot of them know that. All right, so what do we have today? A lot going on. You know that the media is going to talk about some of the things that the president said yesterday at the rally, and we're going to play some audio right now. And then on the other side of this audio, I do want to play an interesting interview that Martha MacCallum had with the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, yesterday, because it's very telling. It seems, everybody, as if in the state of Georgia, at least, on a day where we need to be focusing on these Senate races, on a day when these two races are so critical right now, it really is the difference between where we are right now in this constitutional republic and holding on to those values that the majority of the American people hold, which is, well, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the rule of law, and going in a completely opposite direction and watching Democrat socialism play out before our eyes and having one heck of a time stopping it. It's that big a deal. We all know that, right? I hope we understand it. I know you do. So we're going to get to that, because turns out that the Georgia Secretary of State there has he's got a bone to pick. He's got I don't know what the expression is. He's got a grudge to display. He's got he's not very happy with the president. He's not very happy with a lot of different people, as a matter of fact. And it's almost as if he's being quite defensive with Martha MacCallum yesterday, as far as the things that he did in the state, the things that he hasn't done in the state. The leaked phone call. Hey, did you leak the phone call? Well, I had problems with the way the president was treating it. Yeah, so did you leak the phone call? Well, the information's out there. Okay, so you leaked the phone call. It's really disturbing that the politics are taking place this way in the state of Georgia. And I wonder how many other Republicans truly, in their heart of hearts, feel the same way about the president, that they hate him and they despise the past 4 years. They hate the fact that somebody tweets the way that he does and expresses himself the way that he does, and they don't like that, and they twinge and everything else. That the idea of another 4 more years really grates at them, and the things that they could do against him, where they see this clock ticking down and playing out, they don't have a problem with it, and they never had a problem with it, because secretly they liked riding his coattails. But in reality, when the sun is shining, the disinfectant of sunlight, you come to find out that, not really a fan. And willing to go along with the left to kind of circumvent all that. All right. President yesterday, there at the rally, a couple of things that were said. One thing that was picked up by the Hill of all places, because, when you have the president who's saying things off the cuff and kind of half joking about certain situations. You know, places like The Hill and other media outlets are all going to be beside themselves because how dare the president say this and what did he mean?
And I hope Mike Pence comes through for us, I have to tell you. I hope that our great vice president comes through for us. He's a great guy. Of course, if he doesn't come through, I won't like him quite as much.
Okay. Very Trump-esque. And you know the media is beside themselves. Like, what is he asking Mike Pence to do? What does he think he's going to do? Okay, first of all, relax. The president went through all the numbers at the rally. He said he was going to do it. Verifiably wrong. The evidence where there was enough ballots to overcome the widespread fraud that was taking place and trying to present that to the American people in a rally that, well, a lot of people wouldn't cover, but, you know, certainly the base wants to hear. But again, Mike Pence, what is Mike Pence going to do? What is, well, the rules have been set. So what's going to happen ultimately with Mike Pence and what can he do? So we know how it's going to work. Or do we? So the plan is, for those that don't know Mike Pence and what his role is going to be, this was explained just the other day by Jim Jordan and Mo Brooks, two representatives there in the House. Each state, one by one, is going to call the votes. When the first of the 6 states that'll be challenged is called, then one of the very, very, very many, well, the very, very many? The many, 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 how about that? Republicans will raise an objection. You just need one. And at that point, each chamber is going to debate for a maximum of 2 hours. It's going to be a long day tomorrow, everybody. There's going to be a lot of debate happening. Members of the GOP who are objecting will try to convince others to join them, and vice versa. And after the debate, the joint session reconvenes, and the results of the debate will be announced. And it's at that point that the votes will either be accepted or rejected based on the determination made after debating, and that's where Mike Pence's role will be. Partially, because there are some interesting maneuvers that are happening when it comes to what Mike Pence can and cannot do. And one of them is the discussion right now about whether or not Mike Pence would be able to talk about this issue that the Senate has brought up, which is the 10 days, right? Who was it? It was Jenna Ellis, our friend Jenna Ellis, the senior legal advisor to the Trump campaign, was suggesting that Mike Pence could do something very interesting. Because not only do you have Ted Cruz and others in the Senate who want an audit, 10 days. Listen, we're in no rush. We want to double check and make sure. And I know that there are some people that are like, man, we are setting a really, really bad precedent. Well, are we really setting a precedent? Because it's interesting how those that say bad precedent don't do this. I wonder how they would feel in the future if we go through this again. And if we know that there's way, way, way too much evidence out there. Way too many signed affidavits to show that there is some issues with the legality of the votes in specific states. When do we get the fight? Has anybody ever asked that question? Like for these Liz Cheney and others and people, Tom Cotton and some who, and a lot of, fair to say that Mike Lee and others too, who don't want to do this, who don't want to object because they're concerned about what we may see in the future. With all due respect, I just wonder, when do we get the fight? Do we ever get to fight this? Or is the next time, which could be tomorrow, when we find out what the election results are today in Georgia, do we get to fight those as well? Do we get to question some of what's going on? Or do we just have to take everything at face value and then move along, good little boy and girl, or gender neutral title? Because, you know, amen and a women. So you have 18 state legislatures from Georgia. This is very interesting. Listen to this. 18 state legislatures from Georgia. And it looks like there's some other states that are looking at this as well. signs a letter to the vice president asking him to delay the January 6th electoral vote by 10 to 12 days, just like the Senate is saying, hey, listen, we need an audit. We want to see what's happening within our states. They plan to get to the letter to Pence. They were planning on doing it yesterday. And it looks like legislators from Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona sent similar letters to the vice president requesting a similar time frame for the delay. So what is this? The Epic Times was reporting on it about what Jenna Ellis is trying to accomplish here. And I don't know that she's too far off. And listen to this. Why not delay the vote, the certification of the votes? And instead, why not do what the Constitution is saying has to be done ultimately if there's a question about the votes, which is send it back to the state legislatures and have them clarify. Listen, you got two sets of electors coming from all of these different states. You got 6 contested states. Which ones are the right ones? Who do we go with? And why couldn't the vice president do that? What he could do and should do, in fact, is to direct a question back to the state legislatures when there are 2 competing slates of delegates from these 6 states. He can ask, well, state legislatures, listen, constitutionally, Article 2, Section 1, Subsection 2 says that there's the state legislatures direct the manner in which electoral delegates are selected. This is, I don't know, I like this. Because not only does it give Mike Pence an out if he's looking for one specifically, if we're going to be quite honest, to not make the decision, to not have Congress make the decision where there are many House members and senators who understand the Constitution and know that it's not the role of Congress to make this decision. They wouldn't be making the decision. They would be doing what the Constitution says, which is sending it back to the legislature. And let's have the state legislatures once and for all do this. It's not up to a governor. It's not up to some sneaky Secretary of State. I'm not saying Raffensperger in Georgia is a little... Well, you'll hear the audio. Martha MacCallum from last night trying to figure out what his motivation is. Let's just say there's a grudge going on. But why not? 239-479-5592. Maybe you tell me what your thoughts are. Do you think there's a possibility? 2 things I would ask, and I'd love to hear from you. Number 1, do you think in your heart of hearts, do you think there's a possibility that something could happen in a positive way for the president tomorrow? Have you lost hope, or do you really honestly believe that there is a chance? Not that an election would be overturned, but we would solidify the process. Remember, for all you lefties who listen every single morning, and I know who you are, and I see your emails and everything else, I'm just telling you, we want the process to play out. If the state legislatures come out and say, you know what, and they give it to Joe Biden, I think that is, at this point, we've let the constitutional process play out. But what are you afraid of if they were to do that? And then the second question I would ask you, 239-479-5592, if you'd like to call right now, is this. How do you feel about the Senate election today in Georgia? Are you concerned, like with everything that you witnessed in 2020, are you concerned that we're going to see the same setup here in Georgia now today? And that you're not going to be surprised if there's some last-minute shenanigans in the state and we have 2 seats that would be lost to the radical left in this country. Democrats, same thing. I know if you're a Democrat, I'm not a radical left. Okay, well, talk to your party. But before we go to break, and Jake, we're going to do that in just a second, but before we go to break, I want to leave you with something that I thought was interesting. Liz Harrington is going to join us at 8 o'clock, and we're going to talk about the rally. We're going to talk about January 6th. We're going to talk about today's election in Georgia. She brought something up on Newsmax the other day, and I thought it was really cool. The way she put this. Just to give you a little nugget of support and a nugget of hope and understand how important you are in this process, whether it's here in Southwest Florida or wherever you're listening to the sound of my voice or watching on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's. It was your vote, and it was how in mass you all went out and voted for President Trump and supported him. That was the reason why the left had to do what they did in certain places. I know it's outrageous. Hold on. What are you suggesting? No. Hold on a second. She made the point. Remember they said there was a water main break in Georgia? They had to shut down the arena because water main break. It turned out it was a leaky urinal. It was not that big a deal. Yeah. It's your vote that caused them to do that. The question of ballots from under the table and how we still don't have an answer from the Secretary of State in Georgia. I don't care if he's a Republican. Republican means nothing to me. We still don't have an answer. The reason why there's a question about ballots from under tables and being rolled out is because of you. So for as much as you feel like you don't have the power, you honestly do, because they can't do that forever if you continue to come out the way you have. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube and on Facebook at Drew Steele Radio on Facebook and YouTube both. And you can always watch it 925 Fox News as well on Facebook. It's Daybreak 925 Fox News, right all along.
This is 925 Fox News.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report. Amazon gives...
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I just wanted to say hi. Just wanted to see who was here this morning, waking up with us today. I see a whole bunch of folks that are watching. So if you're on Facebook right now, if you're on YouTube, just want to do a shout out and say hello to my early morning crew. Gator Lynn, happy Tuesday. Good morning to you. It's great to see you here. Adele, listen, just wanted to tell you to spread the word. And for those that are watching right now, that I'm going to be doing a town hall on Thursday with Bob Rommel in Naples. So spread the word. I don't do them very often, but I'm deciding, I think this year, that I'm going to get out a little more, even though I do the early morning thing. So, Adele, tell your friends, tell people you know that we'll be doing that town hall on Thursday, and I'll get you some information on that. So that'll be off of Livingston Road in Naples on Thursday night. So how about that? All right. Okay, Mr. Super, what's your title? Listen, I know you're a Trump hater, and I'm not really sure, who or what you are. But I see you're here all the time. And what are you going to do if the president is no longer going to be serving after Biden wins? What's your life going to be like then? I just wonder what it's going to be. What do you think it's going to be? But hey, listen, it's cool that you're here because clearly you have nothing else to do. Martha, good morning. Good to see you. Let's see. Anna's here. Good morning to you. Todd Smith. We appreciate you. Actually, you know what? I should probably... Let's see. Hold on a second. There you go. All right, Todd. Good to see you, Todd. And wait a minute. What is this? You said just registered here to vote. Okay. November Ribble, good morning. I love that picture in the background. It's awesome. It's a great one. Adele, you got it? Got it. All right, good. Spread the word. Go do your thing. Spread the word. All right, Laura's back in Florida. That's right, where you're breathing the air of liberty. Oh, we got some good DeSantis audio and news, on the virus that will no longer be soon because Joe Biden's going to make it go away. And apparently there's a plan for that. Oh, I'm not kidding. It gets crazy. Yeah, some are saying. I'm just going to put it out there and let you guys decide. That's all. All right. Let's see. We got Sandy. Good morning, Sandy. Good to see you. Sandy is here. Lady Catherine is here. Good morning, Lady Catherine. Good to see you, apparently on YouTube. So great to see you all. That's covering my face. I got to fix that. That's okay. Actually, you know what? It's probably better to cover my face for some people. All right, thanks for watching. Great to see you. Just doing some early morning shout-outs just to see who's here. Donna. Donna, good morning. Good to see you as well. Hold on, let me see if I can fix... I'll just leave it there. Whatever. All right. Oh, sorry, Travis. Hi, Travis. You got some love. Sorry about that. All right. All right, morning shout-outs. I don't know. I should probably do these morning shout-outs on the break. Every break, just to see who's in. All right, keeping an eye on some of you that are here. All right. Adele also said, what did she say? If Trump loses, everyone who's defined by the Constitution loses, and our nation will never heal. Justice doesn't prevail. Well, let's hope that's not the case, and let's hope that justice will prevail, and let's hope that there's some there with the discussion about the votes, and discussion about the ballots, and discussion about ballots under tables, and discussions about numbers that were deducted from Trump, according to some data analysts in the Georgia Senate committee hearing, which, of course, it's just a hearing, doesn't have any legal standing. But we could spend some more time looking at it. All right. Good morning, Debbie. Good to see you. Good morning, good morning. All right. So, all right. Martha's got to go to work. Go. See you in a bit. Go to work. All right, everybody, listen. Good to see you. Stay there. A lot more to come.
Visit firstclassairconditioning.com.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
New Year's resolutions are hard to keep, so give your business more than resolutions. Give it solutions from Comcast Business. With fast internet, advanced Wi-Fi, powerful cybersecurity solutions, and 24/7 support, you'll have everything you need to bounce forward.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. In studio with us, Dr. Michael P. Varvaris, who you can visit online, michaelpvarvarismd.com, to talk to us a little bit, well, like Salt and Pepper sang, let's talk about sex, baby. But specifically, Dr. Varvaris, talk to us about what you do for men and hormones.
Well, first off, hormones move around in the blood, but they work in the tissues. So what really matters is the tissue level and not the blood level. Now, when you're taking testosterone, whether it's a tablet or an injection or a cream or a pellet, the blood level is pretty much worthless. Most doctors don't understand this, and patients end up getting horribly overdosed. When patients overdose, the extra testosterone is converted to estrogen. Estrogen levels increase. Also, quite often, the red blood cell count increases. Doctors commonly will add a drug to block the estrogen or recommend phlebotomies to remove the excess blood. So if you're a man on testosterone and your doctor is measuring blood levels or putting you on a drug to block estrogen or recommending phlebotomies, you really do need to see me.
Visit him online, michaelpvarvarismd.com. As he says, make your body great again.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. If you're waiting for a call back about vaccine registration in Lee County for COVID-19, you still may receive one. The CEO of the company running the Lee County call center says they'll continue to call people today to get them signed up for a time slot. Also, if you're expecting a call back, you have to answer it. If you don't answer the call, you lose your place in line to make an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Charlotte County is vaccinating people today and Wednesday by appointment only. However, all slots are filled. We know more dates will be announced very soon. And many of you who were lucky enough to get your first dose of the vaccine are wondering where and how you'll get your second shot. In Collier County, expect an email 21 days after your first vaccine. Now, in Charlotte County, they don't anticipate anyone needing their second dose next week, but they hope to have appointments available. In Lee County, they're sticking with the appointment system, and they're still working on logistics to make sure first and second dose individuals are not mixed together. Vaccinations begin today for those with appointments in Lee County. They will be given at the old airport terminal right off I-75. It's recommended to get there early. Southwest Florida International Airport says they will see heavy traffic on the north side of the airport property. DeSoto County is doing first come, first serve for people 65 and older at the Turner Center in Arcadia Wednesday. In Hendry County and in Glades County, all appointments are booked for clinics in LaBelle, Clewiston, and Moorhaven for a COVID-19 vaccine. Those appointments were taken by phone. A pedestrian who was hit by a deputy has died. The Florida Highway Patrol says the 70-year-old died last weekend. Troopers say the man stepped into a travel lane just north of Tree Farm Road. That deputy was placed on administrative leave as part of a sheriff's office review. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Good morning. Off to a quiet start on the roads. I do want to mention we have a construction project closing down part of McGregor Boulevard starting today through January 25th. That's going to shut down McGregor in both directions between Winkler Road and Dean Way. So if you're heading out that direction, you'll want to reroute yourself over toward College Parkway. You can also take a northernmore route over by Colonial Boulevard to get around that closure. Otherwise, our bridge is looking nice and clear this morning. I-75 and US 41, not seeing any significant delays. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the chilly start with 40s and 50s, a nice and sunny day. Enjoy it. It will be cooler than normal with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Back down into the 40s and 50s. Have that jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning. Rebounding to near 70. Mostly sunny during the afternoon. Next chance of rain with just a few passing showers will be Friday morning with a cold front that reinforces our cool weather pattern towards the weekend. Highs in the 60s for your Saturday, clouds and sunshine, and then mostly sunny near 70 by Sunday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's Kaylee Kobe at Kobe Coin. It's been almost 5 minutes since you have heard an air conditioning company commercial all day long. Blah, blah, blah. So how do you pick the best? First, only pick a company with NATE certified mechanics. Next, the license holder should also be the owner, not some random license. And you want someone who has stood the test of time. In other words, you want Kobe Cooling.
When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949. And now offering Kobe's exclusive brand, the Florida Reserve. Call and ask us about a 10-year guarantee with no hassle warranties.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? Yeah, they're coming, but you can do a lot more than just wait. See, you have the power to help slow the spread. Actually, you could be a real difference maker and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them too, no matter how far apart you are. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports that masks protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them from particles that carry the virus. And wash your hands, using soap and water for 20 seconds, and do it frequently. Watch your distance, wear a mask, and wash your hands. Simple, effective, and along with vaccines, they're how you can make a big difference.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
January is National Organization Month. Yep, there's a National Organization Month. And of course, it should be now at the start of the year. A fresh chance to create a little more time, sense, and peace in your everyday.
And that is what our master designers at Closet Factory specialize in. Whether it's your closet, home office, or any part of your home that could be more wonderfully, time-savingly organized, discover how simple getting more can be.
Talk to Closet Factory, give us a call, or visit closetfactory.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on the YouTubes there at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You can subscribe. Also, don't forget, we also do it on Facebook at Drew Steele Radio and Facebook at 925 Fox News. And so anytime you want to watch, we do appreciate it. So we're going to get to some more of the president's audio, and I have to play this Martha MacCallum audio from the Secretary of State as she was interviewing him last night. And still, there's a lot of questions. Boy, it feels like the Secretary of State in Georgia, Raffensperger's got a grudge. He's got something against the president. And, okay. But when it comes to our constitutional republic, when it comes to the rule of law, grudges, that doesn't work. Either you care about the election in your state, or you're willing to, do things because you hold a grudge. I'll explain in just a second. I mean, how much crazier can it possibly be in this country? I mean, it's not like we're told that some people are no longer alive, only to find out that they actually are alive. I mean, that would be crazy. So, oh wait, this just in. That's exactly what happened. What in the world happened? Did you hear about this? Tanya Roberts, 70s, I guess. She was a TV star. Tanya Roberts, one of Charlie's Angels, after the original Charlie's Angels group got together and that whole breakup, and then, Farrah Fawcett's and then, posters on people's walls and while they were growing up. And then it's like, she's not here any longer. Now we got to have another one. And she's not the same. I'm not getting into, okay. I guess she was also part of James Bond movies. The other day, we're told that she passed away, only to find out that she didn't. Her rep says that she's alive, and then we come to find out yesterday that her long-term partner said she went to the hospital, and they said it was really, really bad, and that she was fading, and then he walked out of the room when he heard it, but then didn't talk. It's just kind of, the only reason why I bring this up is it's very 2020, even though it's 2021. That somebody you would hear and it would be announced and you would have it all over Twitter and you would have people talking about her career and everything else, that she passed away, but apparently she didn't pass away, and how that gets out fast. And the one thing I thought about right away, and I don't know if any of you took a moment to think about this or even cared to think about this topic or this issue, but you should. And it's this. It's the world that we live in. Can you imagine what it's like? I mean, Tanya Roberts, TV star in the 70s, and some of the, I guess she was, do you know who this is, Jake? Jake the Millennial, do you have any idea who Tanya Roberts is? I guess she was in a couple of TV shows recently, I think in 2000, or you have no idea who I'm talking about. But the point is can you imagine in 2020 terms, obviously we're in 2021, and the way people put things out on social media, could you imagine if you were like a political figure, or if you were somebody who was polarizing in some way? I can't say that Tanya Roberts is polarizing. I mean, unless there's some kind of Charlie's Angels fan club where they were fighting back and forth. But can you imagine sitting there and you're not dead, which is, people told you so, and then you're a relative or whatever the case may be, and you're looking at the Twitterverse, which is a cesspool, and then having to live with all of the comments that people could be possibly making about you because maybe they didn't like something that you did or something that you said, and just how ugly that portion would be. Granted, I'm not saying that happened to her, but man, that was it's very 2020. There's somebody, we could be told that somebody is passed away, and then they'll come to find out that Tanya Roberts has not passed away. All right, 239-479-5592. This is very 2020 as we are in 2021. The question about whether or not you have individuals who will admit to what they're trying to accomplish when it comes to presidential elections. When it comes to the state of Georgia, an important state today where there is no doubt about it. The focus today, 110%, if you are in the state of Georgia, needs to be about getting out the vote. As I brought up earlier, a very important piece of everything that is happening right now when it comes to you and how you can fight back and how we can keep the constitutional republic that the way we have it and the way we love it, is what Liz Harrington said, and she's going to join us at 8 o'clock. We'll talk about this. When she said, listen, it was because of you going out in mass, the 74 plus million people that voted for the president of the United States, bigger numbers than we have ever seen. It's because of that and your enthusiasm in getting out that would cause the other side to do things to circumvent that. That if you believe that the election integrity is clear cut and pure across the board in every single state, we're not going to go through the myriads, the numbers, all the things that the president brought up yesterday during the rally that have people questioning what happened in certain states like Arizona and Pennsylvania, certainly Pennsylvania, and in Georgia and other states. But that all of those things could only take place if the magnitude, the force that you came out to rally for the president was so enormous that there was nothing that they could do except do some of the most outrageous things you can ever imagine and then try to get away with it. And all we're saying is listen, we just want to see. 10 days for an audit, Ted Cruz is talking about. All right. Listen, people are saying, well, why didn't he ask for this earlier? Why last minute? I would like him to do it now. I would like to have the process now. I love the fact that Jenna Ellis is saying, listen, Mike Pence, it's very simple. Mike Pence tomorrow could easily, for example, say that this is what I want to do. I think that as a body, if we have objections and the amount of objections on the Senate side and the House side to the state's certification, because there are two sets of electors, not because one set, but because there are two sets, big difference. Because there's confusion in the state, kick it back to the state legislatures. What the Constitution says, Article 2, Section 1, talks about the state legislatures are the ones that make the decision, not Congress. So when everybody's screaming about Congress making a decision or Mike Pence making the decision or the House and the Senate, they're not the ones that are going to do it. Mike Pence could kick it back and say, listen, I'll give you some time. You need to sort this out. You got two sets of electors and we can't have this. I like that idea. Martha MacCallum is talking to Secretary of State in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, yesterday. The whole deal with the phone call, another exaggerated phone call. Here we go again. It's like the phone call, the Ukraine phone call. Yeah, until the phone call was released and everybody's like, oh, well, it's Trump. Look at his hair and his orange man bad. Okay. Now we got another phone call that's, okay, the perfect phone call situation where Washington Post gives you 4 minutes. And then when you see it in its entirety, it's like, listen, just trying to figure all of this out. Got some questions you're not answering. Good for Martha MacCallum a little bit for pressing, at least last night. In a very important Georgia race today. The Secretary of State, because remember something. Before we play this audio, what's the takeaway here? The Georgia Secretary of State does have a certain amount of power when it comes to elections in their state, does he not? And if he's holding a grudge against the president, and he's holding grudges across the board, who knows who he is holding a grudge for, and who knows what kind of politics get played behind closed doors if people hold grudges against each other, and what they're willing to let pass, and what they're willing to not investigate, and what they're willing to see happen because of that grudge. That's not the way you operate a state. That's not the way you operate as a politician. That's not the way you should operate in your life. So here's Martha MacCallum, who's asking questions about this phone call leaked with less than 48 hours to go in, again, the latest of the most important elections in our lifetime. And I want you to listen to some of this audio and how he answers this. Listen to this.
So why did you decide to take the phone call this time? What was different this time?
You know, he was talking about not taking phone calls from the president before, and, you know, all the things that the president was talking about that he's disputing that the state of Georgia was doing, you know, the ballots under the table and you know, the urinal leaking, which they claimed was a massive leak. We got to stop the vote, stop the count, and all these different questions. But, you know, he has a problem with the president even saying any of that, although we still don't have a lot of answers to those questions. So she's like, you decided to take the call now, so why do it?
I didn't know it was being recorded. I just was at my home with my wife, and I had it on speakerphone, but I didn't record anything at my house.
Okay, so I didn't record anything in my house. I didn't know the phone call was recorded. You following this?
But I was making notes. But also then on Sunday morning, he put out a Twitter. I thought we had a private conversation, just not left unsaid. It was private, but I saw it was man-to-man, just having a conversation.
Man-to-man, just having a conversation. You heard the phone. This is what's so weird. You heard the phone call. It was multiple people on the call. It wasn't man-to-man. It wasn't him and the president. There were multiple. Mark Meadows was on the call. There were multiple Trump lawyers on the call. There were people on the call. It wasn't just him man-to-man. So right away, you're like, wait a minute, what?
And, you know, and so with the president of the United States. But then he goes out on Twitter the next morning and says stuff that's not true. First of all, he releases that we did have a conversation. So I didn't see what the issue was. Then obviously we did have a conversation. The whole world knows.
Okay, so he sounds like somebody who's got a little bone to pick with a president who puts out on Twitter that he had a conversation with the president and some of the things that were said. And, he doesn't like that. See, here's another person that just because they have an R after their name doesn't mean that makes them special, everybody. I don't know how we got to that place where somebody who is a Republican, we're told is on our team, is on our side. Well, the side is to get to the truth and get to the facts and to find out more about what happened in the state of Georgia. And it doesn't seem like this person is, quote unquote, on our side. I'm just saying that.
He's got 80 million Twitter followers.
This guy is like... So I just played 45 seconds of this portion of the interview, and all we're hearing about is his problems with the president on Twitter. Really?
But then he also said
All right,
stuff
so
that wasn't true, and
understood.
I was respectful in that.
Okay, I obviously you have a big difference of opinion on, on the way that the vote went in November. But I'm just very curious. We are 24 hours away from an election. So what was the discussion? You say you didn't realize that the phone call was recorded. At what point did you become aware that the phone call was recorded? And tell us about the decision to release the phone call, the audio of the phone call, to the Washington Post.
Yeah. What about this? You didn't know the call was being recorded. So who released this? Well, when did you decide it was okay to do it?
I think it was after Sunday when the Twitter came out. I didn't see it, or anyway, I became aware of it. And anyway, so that's recording is out there, and now people can look at what was the entirety of the comments that were said, and then they can see what he said versus what I said.
Were you consulted, and did you okay the release of the phone call? Did you say, okay, let's go ahead and release the audio of the phone call?
The information's out there, and it is what it is.
What?
That's not an answer to my question. Are you going to answer my question? Were you aware of the decision, and were you in favor of the decision to release the phone call, sir?
I think that we had to respond to the president's Twitter, and we responded with the facts that were in the call, and that's how it got out there. So now the world can just see what was in there. They can make up their own decisions.
You did. Okay, so there you go. What do you need to know? So it was the Secretary of State there in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, who didn't know the conversation was being recorded, but it was being recorded. And then when he found out it was recorded, he was like, hey, we got to put this out 24 hours before an election because, we hate Trump's Twitter. We hate that he tweets. No, Drew, it's more than that. It's because of what he tweeted and talking about the questions about election integrity. Well, again, may I remind everybody who has a problem with that, the Epic Times article that was out just yesterday where the president is talking about Brad Raffensperger, unable to answer questions about the boxes of ballots being wheeled out from under a table after Republican poll workers were told by Fulton County officials that the vote counting was done for the night of November 3rd. Why has he not answered that question? He didn't answer it yesterday. He didn't answer it now. Nobody seems to want to answer this question. What about that? And then he puts the call in, well, the truth will come out. Well, where's the truth with this? Why do we not know about this? Why did you do this? Why did you stop the vote counting? Why is it that there was no water main break? It was just a urinal leak, and all of a sudden we're told that everything has to stop, and then you have the wheeling in of these ballots, and you have people that are told to leave. The footage is out there. The suitcase-like boxes of ballots. Why do we not have a definitive answer on that, and why can't the Secretary of State do it? Doesn't show anything unusual. Really? Did you investigate it? See, that's the problem with a lot of the politics that are out there right now. Is we're being told that the president, nobody is allowed to question this election because anything that could be done has already been said and done. Already went to judges, already went to different places, already went to the Supreme Court, already had Georgia's Secretary of State certified it, already had governors certified it. But on the other side of that, nobody has asked the question, how far did they go? Did they answer the questions? Just like COVID, just like elections, just like anything else that's going on in our lives right now. If we don't get the answers, then we still have questions. And if we still have questions, then we're going to push back. And so what's going to happen today in Georgia? I don't know. We'll talk about it more and get your thoughts. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. At Drew Steele Radio. Steele with 3 E's. We appreciate you subscribing and watching on Facebook as well at Drew Steele Radio. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio gave his State of the City speech recently and finally said the words liberals have always wanted to say. Here's the quote from Democrat Mayor de Blasio's speech. Brothers and sisters, there's plenty of money in the world, plenty of money in this city. It's just in the wrong hands. Mayor de Blasio promises that he will correct that problem. In his new term, he's going to take money out of the hands of those who don't deserve it, the top 1%, and he's going to put it in the hands of those who deserve it more. Now, with the money he takes from the wrong hands, de Blasio will create a single-payer healthcare system. He will expand paid leave for private employees and more, and the rich will pay up whether they like it or not. All New Yorkers of means ought to be packing their bags right about now. You have been targeted as scapegoats, and your elected progressives will not stop until they destroy you because you don't deserve what you have. You haven't worked hard for it. You've probably stolen it or gotten it by some other means, and they're coming for it, and they're making no bones about it. It is not yours. You want a New Year's resolution that's easy to keep? Resolve to help protect your identity and personal info with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock alerts you to potential threats to your identity. They see more than what you can see by just monitoring your credit, like if your info's on the dark web. Only 1 in 5 identity theft victims who had accounts open in their name discovered that theft through a bank or credit card company. Now, if you have a problem, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialists know the steps to take to help resolve your case. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions in all businesses, but LifeLock is the New Year's resolution that's not only easy to keep, it'll help you protect what you've worked so hard for. Get LifeLock for up to 25% here with promo code RUSH at LifeLock.com. That's promo code RUSH. That's my name. for up to 25% off at lifelock.com.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Divorce can be complicated, even more so if there are children involved. If you're a father and want to protect your rights, consider Cordell & Cordell. As a partner men can count on, they have helped men with matters like these for 30 years. Visit CordellCordell.com to learn more.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Cordell & Cordell, Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Announcers are not licensed attorneys.
Newsmax TV is the biggest thing on cable news, with shows including Dick Morris, Rudy Giuliani, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, and more. Every night, watch Newsmax's #1 show, Greg Kelly Reports. Greg Kelly tells you the truth about Trump. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Check your guide or tell your operator you want Newsmax. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax TV. And download the Newsmax app on your smartphone. It's free, so get Newsmax TV anytime, anywhere.
Replacing your old kitchen cabinets but worrying about the cost? At Dream Kitchens and Designs, they have the answer. Made of real wood with soft closing doors and drawers in beautiful styles and colors, Dream Kitchens and Designs cabinets come with a 10-year factory warranty and are installed within 2 weeks. Imagine beautiful new kitchen cabinets at unbeatable prices. Call Alex at 239-878-5906 today for a free estimate. That's 239-878-5906.
Slider Man, Slider Man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider Man. This is our mission, to put your sliding glass door back in the top condition. Slider Man. We make your patio door slide like new, slide like new. Slider Man.
Call Sliderman toll free 866-594-1969.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with TriFound with the TriFound Financial Team. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with TriFound, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Insurance products offered through TriFound Financial, LLC.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, often diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica, Neurontin, or gabapentin that never seems to fix your problem? Your doctor may have told you to just live with the pain. There's now hope for those suffering with peripheral neuropathy. Neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. This damage is commonly caused by a lack of blood flow to the nerves, which causes them to begin to die off. There's a new treatment method now available at the Neuropathy Relief Clinic in Bonita Springs to provide relief from neuropathy as long as you haven't sustained at least 85% nerve damage. For the next 25 callers, the Neuropathy Relief Clinic is offering a neuropathy severity examination for just $60 to determine if you're a candidate for this breakthrough neuropathy treatment. Call 239-317-7240 to schedule an appointment. That's 239-317-7240. That's 239-317-7240.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. If you're waiting for a call back about vaccine registration in Lee County for COVID-19, you still may receive one. The CEO of the company running the Lee County call center says they'll continue to call people today to get them signed up for a time slot. Also, if you're expecting a call back, you have to answer it. If you don't answer the call, you lose your place in line to make an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Charlotte County is vaccinating people today and Wednesday by appointment only. However, all slots are filled. We know more dates will be announced very soon. And many of you who were lucky enough to get your first dose of the vaccine are wondering where and how you'll get your second shot. In Collier County, expect an email 21 days after your first vaccine. Now, in Charlotte County, they don't anticipate anyone needing their second dose next week, but they hope to have appointments available. In Lee County, they're sticking with the appointment system, and they're still working on logistics to make sure first and second dose individuals are not mixed together. Vaccinations begin today for those with appointments in Lee County. They will be given at the old airport terminal right off I-75. It's recommended to get there early. Southwest Florida International Airport says they will see heavy traffic on the north side of the airport property. DeSoto County is doing first come, first serve for people 65 and older at the Turner Center in Arcadia Wednesday. In Hendry County and in Glades County, all appointments are booked for clinics in LaBelle, Clewiston, and Moorhaven for a COVID-19 vaccine. Those appointments were taken by phone. A pedestrian who was hit by a deputy has died. The Florida Highway Patrol says the 70-year-old died last weekend. Troopers say the man stepped into a travel lane just north of Tree Farm Road. That deputy was placed on administrative leave as part of a sheriff's office review. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Good Tuesday morning. Right now, we're tracking delays along Daniels Parkway at Treeline Avenue because of a disabled vehicle at the intersection. That's not too far from that vaccination site entrance off of Daniels Parkway at Chamberlain and Paul J. Doherty Parkway into Gateway. So expect some more delays there as the morning commute goes on. 75 nice and quiet up and down throughout Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties. 41 looking good as well, and no major delays on our bridges. Looks like the midpoint heading eastbound right now. Looking a little bit slow, though, out of the Cape into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the chilly start with 40s and 50s, a nice and sunny day. Enjoy it. It will be cooler than normal with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Back down into the 40s and 50s. Have that jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning. Rebounding to near 70. Mostly sunny during the afternoon. Next chance of rain with just a few passing showers will be Friday morning with a cold front that reinforces our cool weather pattern towards the weekend. Highs in the 60s for your Saturday, clouds and sunshine, and then mostly sunny near 70 by Sunday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Dial star 2020. France Eye Care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. France Eye Care, giving you a reason to smile in 2021 with a state-of-the-art laser vision correction procedure that's easy on the eyes. Dr. France and his team of expert surgeons are the first practice in Southwest Florida to bring you what's called the SMILE procedure, the latest technology in laser vision correction. SMILE is a lot like LASIK, but with a smaller incision and no flap. And a smaller incision means minimal interruption to the nerves on the eyes. And you're not going to get dry eye. I had my LASIK done at France Eye Care. You should too. It is a fantastic team, and what they did absolutely, undoubtedly changed my life. So, to see if you qualify, schedule your free SMILE screening at France Eye Care today. Just dial star 2020 from your mobile phone. Financing is available and it's affordable. Give them a call today. Star 2020.
France Eye Care.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Newsmax TV is the biggest thing on cable news, with shows including Dick Morris, Rudy Giuliani, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, and more. Every night, watch Newsmax's #1 show, Greg Kelly Reports. Greg Kelly tells you the truth about Trump. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Check your guide or tell your operator you want Newsmax. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax TV. And download the Newsmax app on your smartphone. It's free, so get Newsmax TV anytime, anywhere.
You know where you were when the Golden State Killer was arrested. You're a moderator on the Zodiac Killer subreddit. But now you're in search of a new challenge. Enter Solve, the hit podcast that puts you at the center of the investigation. Solve is like no other murder mystery podcast. You'll track down killers hiding in plain sight.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just disturbing. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Not like this.
Listen to Solve wherever you get your podcasts.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube if you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You can subscribe. It lets us know that you're there and you're watching. We appreciate it. Also on Facebook, yes, we're there at Drew Steele Radio and also at 925 Fox News. Either place, all three, you can watch this very program. We do appreciate it. The election today, it's an important day, as we all recognize. This is the day that we will find out where the Republic stands leading into tomorrow and January 6th. And, of course, the big rallies that are going on in Washington, D.C., which is going to be interesting to see because literally, and I'm not joking, they're just shutting down the streets. They are doing anything and everything they can. The mayor of D.C., Bowser, is making life almost impossible for people that are heading into D.C. for tomorrow's rallies there on January 6th. To exercise any kind of First Amendment rights, to be out there on the streets at all. If I'm looking at a map right now, all the streets that are going to be completely closed. And how they're bringing in the National Guard, and they're concerned about, trouble. There's going to be lots of trouble, everybody. And this idea that they want to put out that the trouble is coming from Trump supporters. That somehow peacefully going out there and understanding what's going to be happening and how important this process is, that somehow, because there are those that want to show support for the president. And again, even at the rally yesterday, if you were watching any of the rally in Georgia, you can't, for the millionth time, this is what we do. Why don't we just settle it this way? Here's what we do. We roll up our sleeves, and this is how we're going to settle the election. Next week, why don't we have Donald Trump and Joe Biden show up in competing locations, pick your state, and let's see who shows up for whom. And let's let that person be the person that wins the election. I'm just saying because I'm wondering how many people are going to show up for Joe Biden. Who would show up even now to see Joe Biden if there was some kind of rally?
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Yeah, maybe Corn Pop would show up. I don't know. I don't think Corn Pop is around. I'm so sorry. I'm not really sure that Corn Pop's around. Anyway, the point is they're making it very difficult. They're in Washington, D.C., and then today, of course, the important election in the state of Georgia, and how will things play out? I love how Liz Harrington put it. She's going to join us at 8 o'clock to talk about this. I love the way she described it on Newsmax just the other day, where she said, listen, it's because of you and the enthusiasm and the amount of people that came out in support of Donald Trump that all of this happened to begin with. Because let's be honest, if not a lot of you supported the president and not a lot of you came out to vote for the president, there would be no need to do any kind of shenanigans on the left. They would clearly see that the American people would choose I can't even say it, would choose Joe Biden and the Democrat Party over what they know about this president and what he has been able to accomplish. And that wasn't the case at all. It's quite the opposite. And the support was so massive that the only way that they could figure out ways to win would be the questionable ways that many people have talked about since Election Day. And I know a lot of people don't want to revisit 2020. It's 2021 now. We want to focus on Georgia. We want to focus on this election today. Of course we do. And for the people that are living in the state of Georgia, that's how it's going to be done again, is if the turnout in Georgia will be as massive as it was on a national scale now, with the focus being squarely on Georgia, that the only way that the left in Georgia could do anything, and Stacey Abrams, the governor of the state of Georgia, see what I did there, could help that along. And the only way to do it would be with some shenanigans, because that's how massive the turnout would be. And let's hope that's the case. We will see. I mean, listen, would it really be that horrible if Kamala Harris were the vice president, if Joe Biden were president of the United States? I mean, it's not like they have a lot in common, and certainly they both want to go in the same direction. The commonality between the two, there isn't anything that would suggest that there is, and things to be worried about, and kind of some confusion and some silliness and things like. Oh, this just in. Oh, yes, there is. When you talk about commonality, here's a word: plagiarism. Yeah, you know how Joe Biden over the years has been accused many, I'm looking at my watch, many times about plagiarism. Has been discussed. It was even, I think in the 80s, was it? The first to run for president, or was it the 70s? I forget when it was. Or was it the 1830s when Joe Biden first ran for president? The accusations about plagiarism popped up. Remember that? Hey, Kamala Harris doesn't want to be outdone. And how about this? Have you noticed the hashtag Fweedom, Fweedom, is out there? The Fweedom is a trend. Hashtag Fweedom. It's trending in the United States. Why is that? Well, here's an interesting little nugget for you, and really nothing to see here. Evidence emerged on Monday that a story that Kamala Harris told Elle magazine in October, it may have been lifted from a similar story that was told by Martin Luther King in Playboy magazine in 1965. Remember, in the 60s, it was the hard-hitting articles that people read Playboy for history. Remember that. Anyway, I digress. I saw this on Twitter, and I thought this was a joke, but it's not. So, Elle Magazine's glowing profile begins like this. Senator Kamala Harris started her life's work young. She laughs. I wish I had some music. Jake, can you find some dramatic music or something, like some kind of, I don't know, maybe even some soft music, like something that you would rock a baby to sleep or something, or some kind of emotional music if you can. And if you find anything like that, just feel free to put it under my voice here. I wish I had something prepared. I didn't. She laughs from her gut, the way you would with family, as she remembers being wheeled through an Oakland, California civil rights march in a stroller with no straps, with her parents and her uncle. At some point, she fell from the stroller. And the adults, caught up in the rapture of protest, just kept on marching. But by the time they noticed little Kamala was gone and doubled back, she was understandably upset. Quote, my mother tells the story about how I'm fussing, Harris says. And she's like, baby, what do you want? What do you need? And I just looked at her and I said, freedom. That's what thank you. Freedom. That's what she wanted from the stroller. It's interesting, though, because with that story and Kamala Harris putting that out there, yeah, that's enough, Jake. We don't have to do it anymore. Turns out that some people took notice of the freedom in the stroller story and said, I've seen this before. I know where it was. It was Martin Luther King Jr. in a 1965 Playboy article. In an interview with Alex Haley, answering the questions about the burdens of being the leader of the civil rights movement and describing his suffering for the cause, referenced the inspiration he received from a little girl. And as it was written, he talked about it exactly the same way, seeing that moment in Birmingham. A white policeman accosting a girl who's 7 or 8 years old, walking in a demonstration with her mother. What do you want? The policeman asked her gruffly. And the little girl looked him straight in the eye and answered, feed him. She couldn't even pronounce it, but she knew. It was beautiful. Many times when I have I've been in sorely trying situations. The memory of that little one has come into my mind and has buoyed me. It's not the first time that Kamala Harris has made reference of this. The Daily Wire was talking about this and how it's not her first attempt to profit politically from stories about her involvement with the civil rights movement. Remember, she used it as a weapon against Joe Biden, of all people, in 2019, going after him about for his opposition to forced integration of public schools through busing decades ago, and talking about that little girl was me. The little girl in California was part of the second class to integrate her public schools, and she was bused to school every day, and then even had that on Twitter. And they even had T-shirts that they were selling with her face describing the same issue. Now, I'm not suggesting that the Democrats have picked two very interesting individuals to be the president and the vice president of this country, and somehow 742 million people decided to vote for the two of them, well ahead of you. But that is there's a lot there to be believed. But putting all that aside, and plagiarism and the like, and then nobody's going to question it on the left, because the media, Democrats, the left in this country, they're all the same. Nothing's going to come out about this. Nothing's going to be discussed in detail about it. It might be mentioned and just put aside just so that they can say they talked about it, but they're not going to put any pressure on her about it. But again, all of this goes back to the one central theme as we get ready to go to break right now, Jake, and it's this. That ultimately today in the state of Georgia and what happens with this election, and tomorrow on January 6th and what could possibly take place, and there are some interesting avenues here that I'm going to mention once again that Jenna Ellis brought up, our friend and Trump team lawyer, mentioned yesterday about what Mike Pence can possibly do to kind of get to the facts and the truth about election integrity in this country during the 2020 election and past. And it's this. If you don't show up to the polls in Georgia, if you don't show up here in the state of Florida, if you decide that you're not going to be part of the process, then the left wins every single time. But when you come out in the kind of mass that you did in the 2020 election, and will continue to do to support good people running for office, that all the left can do is things that would be nefarious or shenanigans. And if you do it to the degree that happened in 2020, you would have to go out of your way in ways that nobody could ever imagine and probably could be discovered. We'll talk about that more coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Good morning. We have a crash popping up right now in Golden Gate in Collier County at Santa Barbara Boulevard and Golden Gate Parkway, slowing down traffic at the intersection. Also watching disabled vehicles in Lee County, one at Daniels Parkway and Treeline Avenue. Daniels very slow in both directions, heading in and out of Gateway right now. And then another disabled vehicle at Griffin Drive and State Road 82, right near the border of Gateway and Lehigh, so expect some slowdowns out there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Have the jacket ready to go for your Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the 40s. Then we do rebound to 71 degrees. Still cooler than average, but man, it's going to be a beautiful day with all that sunshine from start to finish. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. True Steel. Weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Hello, Southwest Florida. This is Barry Connor and Craig Gaskins here from Connor & Gaskins Unlimited. The outcome of this election has left us all with a great sense of uncertainty. Political parties aside, this election is about securing our voting rights in order to preserve our democracy.
We stand with the many other Americans who band together in strength and unity to pray for the future of our country, our children, grandchildren, and all other Americans. Through truth and justice, may our rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness prevail. God bless the United States of America.
Window World is a family-owned business, and we really mean family. And with a family-owned business, you get a business that is looking to treat everyone right. We live in this community. We want to take care of our friends and neighbors.
With our family-owned business, we are backed by a company that believes in top-quality products at the best price available. That way, more people can afford energy-saving windows and doors, as well as top-quality hurricane-rated high-impact windows that also offer you some increased security to your home.
And being backed by our parent company, we're going to be around for a long time. The guarantee Window World offers is the absolute best guarantee you are ever going to find in a window replacement company. If anything goes wrong with your new windows, Window World, that's us, and Window World Corporate will stand behind it and get it fixed.
No high pressure, no sitting in your home for hours trying to get you to make a decision right away, but simply good business to our friends and neighbors. And when we're through installing your new windows, we'll stand behind those windows with the best guarantee in the window replacement business. See for yourself. Window World, simply the best for less.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596 BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Clients love their salt system for silky smooth water, less maintenance, and they never buy chlorine. If you want the ultimate, we can add a BioShield for UV water disinfection. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
We're honest and true, and we're here to serve you. The National Exterminators.
Who can deliver the best pest control service for my money? And how much is it? National Exterminators, guaranteed. With most service plans at just $46. You gotta give them a call.
How much?
$46. In business for over 40 years, National Exterminators is a local family-owned business. National Exterminators' pledge to you is to always provide the highest level of service, guaranteed.
Wait, how much? Yeah, $46.
Don't pay more than $46. Now's the time to switch and save. Just call 46 No Bug. That's 46 No Bug. They'll clean it up, seal it up, and make sure your home is pest-free and comfortable. Call them at 239-46 No Bug or go to pestcontrolmadeeasy.com. Yes, just $46.
We're honest and true, and we're here to serve you. The National Exterminators.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube and Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio at both, and also at 925 Fox News on Facebook. So what can Mike Pence do? And, we talked about this a little earlier. We were talking about not only the Georgia elections today, critical, crucial, there's no doubt about it. We'd love to see massive turnout. The president out in Georgia yesterday and that rally last night, we could play some audio from. And dare I say, there's still a whole lot of folks out there that support the president and support the Constitution and the rule of law. And I wonder if Joe Biden can pull those kind of crowds even now. Yeah, I think you know the answer. But Jenna Ellis brought this up yesterday. And I thought this was an interesting way to go about tomorrow, January 6th. A lot of people complaining that Congress can't be in control of this. It can't be the House and the Senate's decision because that's not constitutional. Yep, okay, I got it. It is the state legislatures that are the ones that are supposed to certify. They're the ones that are supposed to have the confirmation of the slate of electors, who they are. And so what Jenna Ellis is describing is a one that the vice president should take tomorrow, and this would be lawful. And it's this. You shouldn't open any of the votes from the 6 states and instead direct a question to the legislatures, knowing that there's 2 slates of electors, and say, confirm to us which one of these 2 slates of electors have in fact been chosen in the manner the legislature has provided for under Article 2, Section 1.2 of the U.S. Constitution. So look, Constitution says the state legislature has to do this. We got 2 slates of electors here. We need to know which one you, constitutionally, agree to. And then open it up to all other votes from other states where electors have been certified and not contested and count accordingly. Just go through it, but that these questions be answered by the state and let them do it. And then at that point, we have a constitutional process that's moving forward. Sounds good to me. We'll see how it goes. All right. Talk about more of that coming up. And then what about vaccines in the state of Florida? Let's get to that coming up as well.
92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Abbott Hill Cabinetry in Naples is your one-stop shop for every aspect of your remodeling and renovation products. Their team is committed to providing innovative solutions with the highest quality products. Abbott Hill offers furniture-grade, authentic, handmade Old Amish cabinetry. Each piece is made with the highest quality solid woods and traditional construction methods for your new kitchen, office, entertainment wall, vanities, and built-ins.
Hi, I'm Peter, the owner of Abbott Hill. Please come see my showroom in Naples, filled with custom, authentic Amish and modern European cabinetry. A selection of unique porcelain tile by top designer like Roberto Cavalli, an exclusive collection of large format slab and tile from Versace Ceramic.
If you're in the market to update your kitchen, bathroom, or floors, Abbott Hill is offering free kitchen design consultation and 20% off countertops with the purchase of kitchen cabinetry. Abbott Hill, returning the quality of yesterday and leaving you smiling for years to come.
What's that switch in your kitchen do?
Nothing. Flick it on, off, nothing happens.
Weird.
Now, if it would turn on the overhead fan, that would be cool. Can't get that to work either.
Frustrating.
You know, this is what's wrong with humanity. We think we got it all figured out, but we don't even know what the switch is supposed to do.
Dave.
Think we can build a spaceship that takes us to Mars when we can't even get a switch to work?
Hey, Dave.
I swear, we're never gonna leave this solar system. We'll be stuck on this planet forever until we all go extinct.
Dave, what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make a call, someone comes and connects that switch to something, like maybe that overhead fan.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 electricians and 4 trucks right now waiting for your call. They'd have that switch looked after in no time.
Well, I feel a bit silly now.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So maybe...
Maybe we can go to Mars.
Chris Foster. The polls are open in Georgia for today's 2 runoff elections that will determine which party controls the U.S. Senate. President Trump says at a rally in Dalton for Senators David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler.
The one thing I know, if they win, I'll get no credit, and if they lose, they're going to blame Trump.
President-elect Biden campaigning for Democrats John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock in Atlanta.
They won't put a president or party first, and they sure won't put themselves first.
3 million people, about 40% of registered voters, voted early. The leader of the far-right Proud Boys group is arrested for burning a Black Lives Matter flag in D.C.
Enrique Tarrio has admitted to his role in that on social media. Police arrested him as he came into D.C. from Miami. He is charged with destruction of property, but police say he had 2 high-capacity magazines with him. So he's facing another charge for that, and he remains in jail.
Fox 5 D.C.'s Lindsay Watts. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. If you're waiting for a call back about vaccine registration in Lee County for COVID-19, you still may receive one. The CEO of the company running the Lee County call center says they'll continue to call people today to get them signed up for a time slot. Also, if you're expecting a call back, you have to answer it. If you don't answer the call, you lose your place in line to make an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Charlotte County is vaccinating people today and Wednesday by appointment only. However, all slots are filled. We know more dates will be announced very soon. And many of you who were lucky enough to get your first dose of the vaccine are wondering where and how you'll get your second shot. In Collier County, expect an email 21 days after your first vaccine. Now, in Charlotte County, they don't anticipate anyone needing their second dose next week, but they hope to have appointments available. In Lee County, they're sticking with the appointment system, and they're still working on logistics to make sure first and second dose individuals are not mixed together. Vaccinations begin today for those with appointments in Lee County. They will be given at the old airport terminal right off I-75. It's recommended to get there early. Southwest Florida International Airport says they will see heavy traffic on the north side of the airport property. DeSoto County is doing first come, first serve for people 65 and older at the Turner Center in Arcadia Wednesday. In Hendry County and in Glades County, all appointments are booked for clinics in LaBelle, Clewiston, and Moorhaven for a COVID-19 vaccine. Those appointments were taken by phone. A pedestrian who was hit by a deputy has died. The Florida Highway Patrol says the 70-year-old died last weekend. Troopers say the man stepped into a travel lane just north of Tree Farm Road. That deputy was placed on administrative leave as part of a sheriff's office review. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News Traffic.
Good morning. We have a crash popping up right now in Golden Gate in Collier County at Santa Barbara Boulevard and Golden Gate Parkway, slowing down traffic at the intersection. Also watching disabled vehicles in Lee County, one at Daniels Parkway and Treeline Avenue. Daniels very slow in both directions, heading in and out of Gateway right now. And then another disabled vehicle at Griffin Drive and State Road 82, right near the border of Gateway and Lehigh, so expect some slowdowns out there. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the chilly start with 40s and 50s, a nice and sunny day. Enjoy it. It will be cooler than normal with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Back down into the 40s and 50s. Have that jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning. Rebounding to near 70. Mostly sunny during the afternoon. Next chance of rain with just a few passing showers will be Friday morning with a cold front that reinforces our cool weather pattern towards the weekend. Highs in the 60s for your Saturday, clouds and sunshine, and then mostly sunny near 70 by Sunday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. So trust our teams at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $200 off a panel replacement.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio and, of course, at Facebook and both at Drew Steele Radio and 925 Fox News. In just a minute, we're going to speak to Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond because I have a couple of questions about what's happening with vaccines. And let me just say this. If you were to read the local media and you were to look at and see what they're saying and how things are being described, it's amazing how you would look and think that the state of Florida is an absolute disaster when it comes to what's going on with vaccines and rollouts. And I'm wondering how many of those same media outlets are looking into and pressuring and talking about the things that are happening in places like, I don't know, New York and California, where they have far more many cases and deaths than we do, but we're not allowed to talk about that, and how their rollouts are going. Like in the state of New York, where the governor is talking about giving people $1 million fines for not only getting, if anybody were to skip the line, let's say jump the line of the individuals that they expect would be the ones that would get the vaccine first. And they're not prioritizing by the ones that are in the most need, everybody. It becomes this sort of social experiment, the way they do it in New York. But now they're talking about fines if they don't disperse those vaccines because they go bad. And so there are doctors that are saying things like, well, hold on a second. I'd rather give it to anybody, than to have this vaccine expire. And that's the things that are happening in places like New York and California. But no. It's Florida that's the disaster. Remember, we are in an election year. I know it's hard to imagine this, but 2021 starts off the 2022 race for governor here in the state of Florida, and there's nothing more than the media would love to do than to make anybody, especially here in Southwest Florida, look like they have no clue what they're doing. The state of Florida is an absolute disaster, and that Governor DeSantis doesn't know what he's doing either. And for those that don't think that that's the case, just go no further than CNN yesterday, as there is this big pressure on Florida. CNN presses Florida governor on slow vaccine rollout. Again, reminding you of what the governor there in the state of New York is doing. And just to tell you that in New York, they're finding hospitals that don't use the allotted COVID vaccine doses within a week of receiving them and won't get further doses if they don't. And there are doctors that are like, I got it here in the freezer, and once you warm it up, it has an expiration date to it, and I want to get it in somebody's body because I don't want it to go to waste. And there's the brilliant governor in the state of New York that's going, no. We have priorities, But yet you're going to pressure the governor like happened yesterday. Listen to this exchange. Here you go.
Governor, what has gone wrong with the rollout of the vaccine that we've seen phone lines jammed, websites crashing?
It's a lot of demand. I think at the end of the day, excuse me.
If I could finish my question.
You just said what has gone wrong, so I'm answering the question.
If I could complete the question, though.
So you're going to give a speech, or are you going to ask a question?
With all due respect, Governor,
you asked the question. I'm going to answer it.
I'm trying to finish my question.
No, you're giving a speech. You asked the question.
I am trying to ask you the.
You're going to ask how many questions? You get 3? They only got 1 question. Why do you get 3?
With all due respect, Governor, I'm just asking if I could finish my question.
You didn't. You finished the question.
Yeah, okay. And this goes on. And all you need to know is this is the narrative, everybody. Understand that to the media, and even I have some questions about some media locally. What's the news press doing? I don't understand why they're putting out stories of like these horror stories about things that are happening right now with people that are waiting for the vaccine and what is going on here in the state. I want to see you do the same kind of reporting outside of the state and what's going on, because I'm concerned about the agenda here. I'm telling you, CNN is going after the governor here in the state of Florida, where if the vaccines are going out, and again, I know Brian Hammond, just bring Brian Hammond in. I'm sorry, Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond joining us right now. And I'm sorry, I know you've been on hold, but when I saw this this morning, and I see what places like CNN is doing and some other outlets, I'm concerned. I'm concerned because here we go again. The politicization of this disease, of this virus, of what is going on in this pandemic, with COVID-19. Excuse me if I have a problem with the way things are being reported when there are other states that are doing things that are outrageous. And yet the focus here is on the state, and we all know it's political. We all know it. And dare I say, in some cases, it's locally political.
Yeah, excuse me. Good morning, Drew.
Hi, sorry. I just didn't get
we could talk about this a lot. And I worked in television news for 10 years. You've worked in the media a long time yourself. Look, I think it's not just political, but I do think there is also a profit motive here. I mean, look, excuse me. How do we get in TV, right? How would you get money? You get money by more advertisers. How do you get more advertisers? Well, you get more eyeballs on the television. This has been fantastic for getting eyeballs on the television, get people to tune in every single day to look at the problems, to look at the numbers, scare them to death. Yeah, that's what's happening here. So it's not just political. I think it's profit driven. And I think, this is the story that keeps on giving for them. Now, this is a real story.
Yes. And that's, and let me,
happening.
Yeah. Let me just,
it's also being taken advantage of.
Yeah. Let me just say this quickly before we go to what is actually happening. May I remind everybody that in some of the media's defense, there is something that is happening here. But the way they exaggerate and the way it's day after day after day, as if there's something happening here that is deficient in some ways with regard to getting a limited amount of vaccine out to the people, as opposed to places like New York and California, where the vaccine's going bad because of their social experiments and policies that they're doing to be PC, that is destroying the chance for people who need it to get it. And there's plenty of examples of that. Sorry, go ahead. So let's talk about what's happening here in Lee County.
Well, and that was the basis of my comments yesterday was, the media needs to be our partner here, especially locally. I mean, we always talk about how the local news is much better than the national news with all the problems that we see there. And so locally, be a partner. Help us help the people understand why we're having the problems that we're having that you're seeing reported. And it's just simple math. The math doesn't work out. In Lee County, we have 225,000 people over the age of 65. Those are 225,000 people plus healthcare workers who are eligible to get the vaccine right now. We have gotten 12,000 doses of vaccine. That's it. So we've got 225,000 people, and we're trying to fill 12,000 vaccine slots with that. Here's the good news. More vaccine is coming. We are on schedule to receive vaccine regularly shipped here. That's what we've been told. Okay, so we're gonna get the first 12,000 administered. In fact, within 3 days, I know everybody saw the long lines, but within 3 days, we had 6,000. We had basically half of it administered. But we got so many complaints about the lines and the way that looked on television that we stopped that process. We went to the reservation system that everybody was asking for, and the reservation system worked because we filled up all 5,000 reservations in 30 minutes. I mean, by 7 minutes into opening those phone lines, we had 6,900 people on the line, on hold, waiting to get their appointment. So it was a frustrating afternoon for people. I know how frustrating that is when you're sitting there dialing the number and getting a busy signal, or dialing the number and getting some message that says we can't connect you right now. That's frustrating. The people who are dialing this number, a lot of them believe that this shot is going to be the thing that saves their life. Mm-hmm. And so I can't even imagine that, sitting there dialing with desperation to get your life-saving shot. And so for those folks, the thing that I can say is, look, we're going to continue to get shipments of vaccine. Your county commissioners don't make the vaccine. We don't ship the vaccine. We have just been asked to, once it's sent to you, get it into people's arms, help the health department get it into people's arms. And that's what we're doing. We've tried to facilitate different sites for that. And so if you look at efficiency's sake, we're getting the vaccine into people's arms. That's what we've been tasked with doing But boy, the customer service experience has been horrible.
Yeah. Well, again, and it goes back to fundamentally the important aspect here is that I'm concerned, number one, that I hate that all of this becomes political. I hate that people want to exaggerate things because they look to make certain individuals look bad because it benefits them in the long run. And I would hate that anybody would do that. And if I'm wrong, then prove me wrong, I'm saying to other people that may be listening. But that is certainly a concern, number one, because we all know that the race for 2022 and the governor's race, for example, is happening right now as we speak. And everybody has taken their side and it's already begun. That's number one. But number two is the idea that people want to know when it comes to getting this vaccine out. Have you had any indication that in any way, shape, or form that we have been in the same boat as places like New York or California, where there are vaccines that have gone bad because it hasn't been able to be administered?
Well, we haven't had that here. No, I mean, everything, our vaccines are getting into people's arms.
Right.
And honestly, they're getting into people's arms very quickly. Had we continued with that first system that we started with the lines, we would have been through the first 12,000 already. But, again, we had to stop the lines. People didn't want to see that anymore. That was not going well. So we got the reservation system up, and sure enough, those 5,000 doses were spoken for within a matter of minutes. And those 5,000 doses will be given this week, and they'll be worked through before anything goes bad. Now, the local media makes it look like Lee County is the only county that's having a problem. I can tell you, if you tried to use the reservation system in Orange County, they booked 30,000 appointments in 24 hours and shut their system down too. I see people locally say, well, why can Collier do it and Charlotte do it? Collier and Charlotte aren't doing anything better than Lee County. In fact, Collier and Charlotte residents are showing up at Lee County sites trying to get their vaccines. Collier and Charlotte, if you tried to book an appointment through their reservation system, they're booked out for several weeks as well. Maybe people are getting a better email message or something that's providing a better experience, and that's something I think we certainly could improve upon. We need to work on the customer service side of this, but nobody's doing anything better than Lee County's doing. The fact is, Collier's got half the population we do. Charlotte's got a quarter of the population we do, and they didn't even get a fraction of the doses we got. If we were tasked with giving out 200 shots a day, we would have done that. The thing is, we were doing 200 shots an hour last week.
Yeah. And look, and again, I shouldn't have to say this, but it would, in my estimation, this is me personally talking, it would never be right. It would never be enough for certain people. And unfortunately, those certain people who it would never be right for are people who have megaphones and people who have platforms and people who have an ability to make it look like everything has gone wrong and it's being done wrong, when it's quite the opposite. When you consider where the focus needs to be, which it needs to be in certain areas and certain states that are a disaster, that we are told are doing a brilliant job, where it's quite the opposite. And that to me is incredibly frustrating, especially when we've been talking about this since day one, and this not only the vaccine but the virus itself and what it is and what it's not. So let's wrap this up this way. The more doses coming. Do we have a timeline exactly when that timeline is? Do you know?
Well, we know that the goal was hopefully to start to get more shipments. We don't control when the shipments come. So I don't know the answer to that question, but as soon as we get those shipments, then we'll try and get those appointments filled for those vaccine doses as soon as possible. And for the folks at home, this is going to be a while. 200, you got to work the math. 225,000 people over the age of 65. If we got 5,000 doses at a time, man, that could take a year to work through all those people. So we really, I'm hoping the vaccine makers can start to produce more. We got Johnson & Johnson. That's a vaccine that's in the process that's almost going to go through and get their emergency use authorization. You've got AstraZeneca, which is another one. So if 2 more vaccines become available, then that'll increase the supply. we'll be able to start getting people vaccinated at an even faster rate. But right now, I mean, that's kind of the situation. That's it. This is not about me. This is about the people we're trying to serve. But in our position as the county, think about this. We know what's going to happen. We know we've got 225,000 people who want the next 5,000 vaccines we get. And we could set up whatever system we want. We tried the line system and we saw people wait overnight. We tried the phone system and it got jammed in minutes, as we expected it would. We could set up a website, and I guarantee you if all 225,000 people hit that website at the same time, it's going to crash just like the unemployment system did. There's really almost no solution we could come up with that is not going to be able to be criticized and ridiculed. And, we're not in a good spot.
Yeah. All right, Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond, I appreciate a few minutes and just listen. You just get them out. You get them, we get them out, get the process moving, and doing the best you can.
Focused on.
All right, my friend, I appreciate it. 239-479-5592. There is the talking text line. If you want to play Drew's College, we'll do that next. Fifth caller, if you would like to play, 239-479-5592. It's Drew's College. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Here's Therese O'Shea. She's got your traffic.
Right now, we're tracking major slowdowns along Daniels Parkway through Gateway out of Lehigh into Fort Myers. We do have a disabled vehicle at Daniels and Tree Line, really slowing things down at that intersection. So may want to plan around it by taking Colonial Boulevard. Midpoint Bridge getting very busy as well out of Cape Coral into Fort Myers, heading in the eastbound direction. The Cape Coral Bridge and the downtown 41 Bridge is looking pretty quiet right now. We do have part of McGregor Boulevard shut down starting today for some drain work between Dean Way and Winkler Road. So just plan your commute around that. That'll be shut down through January 25th. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
Have the jacket ready to go for your Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the 40s. Then we do rebound to 71 degrees. Still cooler than average, but man, it's going to be a beautiful day with all that sunshine from start to finish. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
We need to get back to the times when you could agree to disagree and help your neighbors.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
When was the last time you ate at Spanky's Speakeasy in Naples? Hi, I'm Emily Monty, owner of Spanky's. We have been a Naples landmark for over 35 years, but my husband Ted and I have brought Spanky's back bigger and better than ever. Along with lunch and dinner, we now serve Naples' best breakfast served 7 to 10:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Dine inside amongst thousands of vintage antiques and memorabilia or outside on our open-air waterfront patio. At Spanky's, we are known for serving Naples' best prime rib and fresh seafood, along with an array of American cuisine. Don't forget to stop by our full-service bar to enjoy your favorite speakeasy cocktail and daily happy hour. Spanky's is now open 7 days a week. Sundays we feature live jazz entertainment on our patio for your enjoyment. While providing a friendly atmosphere, Spanky's is known for our southern charm. But more than ever, your safety and comfort is our #1 priority. Visit Spanky's today on Airport Pulling Road, just south of Golden Gate Parkway, Naples.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey Southwest Florida, it's Tyler McCluskey here, and I want to introduce you to my new show being broadcast every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. We'll be talking everything insurance, real estate, mortgages, and all your local talent. Everything you need to know to help your businesses grow. I can't wait to start this journey with you all. I'm looking forward for you to tuning in every Saturday at 11 a.m. For more information, visit TylerMcCluskey.com. See you all there.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Rick in Fort Myers. Hey, Rick in Fort Myers, how are you today?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm well. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD or associate's degree question, sir. Starts right now. Rick, who was the GOP nominee for President of these United States in the year 2016?
Who was the GOP nominee?
Yes.
That was Trump.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question, staying with presidents and vice presidents. In 1990, George H.W. Bush was the president of the United States. Remember him?
Yes.
Yeah. Who was the vice president at the time?
Oh, that was the young guy from, just give me a second here. Oh, no, I can't think of his name. And he debated not Walter Mondale. He debated, what's his name? Al Gore. Wasn't it Al Gore? No.
It was Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, it's
I just can't think of his I see his face.
Yeah, Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, yes.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Let's see if you see this in your crystal ball here. We'll go for the bachelor's on this question. You had the Civil War, right? You had the two sides. The states that remained loyal to the United States during the Civil War were known as what?
Okay, repeat that question again. I'm sorry.
The states that remained loyal to the U.S. during the Civil War. You know, you had the two sides, right? In the North and the South. What did they call the North? That was called the
Union.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. All right, good. You got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. How often are U.S. representative elections held in this country?
2 years.
That is correct. All right, so look, you made a big comeback there. You got a master's degree, even with all that confusion. You came through, Rick, and that's what it's about. It's about perseverance. It's about sweat, tears, strength, blood, guts. No, it's not really that much, but it was fun.
Question for you, Drew.
Well, wait a minute. Hold that thought, because I got to go, because I'm looking at the clock, and I hear the music playing in the background. So stay right there. Rick's got a question. All right, we'll get to his question in a minute. All right, hope you did well. 7:50 each and every day at Drew's College. We'll do it again tomorrow. Liz Harrington, by the way, is going to join us next because we're going to talk about the election today in Georgia. And tomorrow, what's going to happen? A lot coming up.
Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Are you ready for kids who eat healthy? Good nutrition can lead to great things. To find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed, go to mypyramid.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and USDA.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. If you're waiting for a call back about vaccine registration in Lee County for COVID-19, you still may receive one. The CEO of the company running the Lee County call center says they'll continue to call people today to get them signed up for a time slot. Also, if you're expecting a call back, you have to answer it. If you don't answer the call, you lose your place in line to make an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Charlotte County is vaccinating people today and Wednesday by appointment only. However, all slots are filled. We know more dates will be announced very soon. And many of you who were lucky enough to get your first dose of the vaccine are wondering where and how you'll get your second shot. In Collier County, expect an email 21 days after your first vaccine. Now, in Charlotte County, they don't anticipate anyone needing their second dose next week, but they hope to have appointments available. In Lee County, they're sticking with the appointment system, and they're still working on logistics to make sure first and second dose individuals are not mixed together. Vaccinations begin today for those with appointments in Lee County. They will be given at the old airport terminal right off I-75. It's recommended to get there early. Southwest Florida International Airport says they will see heavy traffic on the north side of the airport property. DeSoto County is doing first come, first serve for people 65 and older at the Turner Center in Arcadia Wednesday. In Hendry County and in Glades County, all appointments are booked for clinics in LaBelle, Clewiston, and Moorhaven for a COVID-19 vaccine. Those appointments were taken by phone. A pedestrian who was hit by a deputy has died. The Florida Highway Patrol says the 70-year-old died last weekend. Troopers say the man stepped into a travel lane just north of Tree Farm Road. That deputy was placed on administrative leave as part of a sheriff's office review. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Right now, we're tracking major slowdowns along Daniels Parkway through Gateway out of Lehigh into Fort Myers. We do have a disabled vehicle at Daniels and Tree Line, really slowing things down at that intersection. So may want to plan around it by taking Colonial Boulevard. Midpoint Bridge getting very busy as well out of Cape Coral into Fort Myers, heading in the eastbound direction. The Cape Coral Bridge and the downtown 41 Bridge is looking pretty quiet right now. We do have part of McGregor Boulevard shut down starting today for some drain work between Dean Way and Winkler Road. So just plan your commute around that. That'll be shut down through January 25th. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the chilly start with 40s and 50s, a nice and sunny day. Enjoy it. It will be cooler than normal with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Back down into the 40s and 50s. Have that jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning. Rebounding to near 70. Mostly sunny during the afternoon. Next chance of rain with just a few passing showers will be Friday morning with a cold front that reinforces our cool weather pattern towards the weekend. Highs in the 60s for your Saturday. Clouds and sunshine. And then mostly sunny near 70 by Sunday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Hello, Southwest Florida. I'm Anthony with the American Tradesman Show, and my guest, Gerald Prevett from B&K Water Extraction and Mold Services, and his brother Brian Prevett from Prevett Plumbing, and my partner Juan Silva from American Electrical. Join us each week, Saturday mornings between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., where we talk about something new in the construction field, educating you on anything with the new codes, new requirements, and also the materials and the products that we use on these shows. So we look forward to you listening to our show. God bless America and Semper Fi. Hoorah!
Newsmax TV is the biggest thing on cable news, with shows including Dick Morris, Rudy Giuliani, Michelle Malkin, Diamond and Silk, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, and more. Every night, watch Newsmax's #1 show, Greg Kelly Reports. Greg Kelly tells you the truth about Trump. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Check your guide or tell your operator you want Newsmax. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax TV. And download the Newsmax app on your smartphone. It's free, so get Newsmax Newsmax TV anytime, anywhere.
You know where you were when the Golden State Killer was arrested. You're a moderator on the Zodiac Killer subreddit. But now you're in search of a new challenge. Enter Solve, the hit podcast that puts you at the center of the investigation. Solve is like no other murder mystery podcast. You'll track down killers hiding in plain sight.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just disturbing. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Not like this.
Listen to Solve wherever you get your podcasts.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live on YouTube anytime you want to watch. At Drew Steele Radio, for the time being, YouTube is like, that goes. Anyway, and also on Facebook, and same kind of thing. At Drew Steele Radio there as well, or at 925 Fox News. 3 locations, 1 host. Although Liz Harrington is joining us right now, and I love when Liz fills in for me, as she has done on a few occasions, and so does the audience. So we always appreciate having her on. And boy, there's always a lot to talk about, Liz Harrington. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Happy New Year, Drew.
Yes, a happy New Year. Back at you. Hey, a couple of things that I wanted to dive right into. First of all, it's a shame that the president can't get people to show up when he holds rallies. It's awful, Liz. I mean, I'm making the case this morning that why don't we just settle it this way? How about pick your place, pick your day, pick your time, Democrats, and why don't we have 2 competing rallies at the same time? And whoever shows up for the person, whether it be the president or Joe Biden, may the better person win. I would take that every single time.
Right. And that was the crowd of someone who it looks like got 81 million votes, right?
Yep.
Not Joe Biden. I mean, on its face, this whole thing is such a farce. I mean, the people that came out waiting for hours on end to see President Trump, not because, any other reason other than he fought for the country, he fights for the country, and he likes the country. That's really about it. And he has a spine and a backbone, and he doesn't have anybody else pushing him in different directions to sell out the United States of America. Mm-hmm. And that is the difference. And that's what is at stake here. Today in Georgia, but of course tomorrow in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And we need to be unified. Today, we need to show them, let's make them come up with something new this time. It won't be a water main break. It won't be a urinal leak. Let's make them pull ballots underneath tables in the middle of the night. Let's make them lie, cheat, and steal. Let's show up in overwhelming numbers like we did on November 3rd to say, you're not going to do this to our country. We will not be taken over by communist China or Marxists at home. We're not going to let it happen.
Yeah.
And it starts today in Georgia, and it continues tomorrow in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. I love that when you said that on Newsmax, I thought that was brilliant. And it's something that I'm going to say it a lot, and I'm going to give you credit each and every time, so don't worry about it. But certainly, I cannot say this enough. The reason why the left has to do the things that they do is because you are listening, come out in overwhelming force. The more you come out, the more drastic measures they have to take in order to fix what you are doing in some way, shape, or form. And you can imagine what that might be. And we all know the different ways that we have concerns about. But that's what it's about. When people say you got to show up, you got to be there, you got to show up and vote, I think that is it's on display. It was on display November 3rd, like you said, and it can continue to be that way into the future. That's how you win, because I can't imagine how many urinals can break in a stadium where they can actually claim that there's a reason why everybody should clear out.
Well, exactly. And we've witnessed this for 5 years now, really. I mean, ever since President Trump threw his hat in the ring, their reaction, I mean, they have tried every which way to stop him because He represents us.
Right.
And that's what it's about. They have a nice system in place. It's the gravy train. Everybody, goes to Washington and they get rich, fat, and happy. But the country suffers. And we've seen what's happened over the last few decades. And President Trump, that's the reason why he ran in the first place. He didn't need to. And it was, something has gone wrong here. We have forgotten what our country is supposed to be about, the American dream, and putting our interests first, our country, not selling out to every other nation who hates our guts, by the way.
Yeah.
No. And he changed that. And that's why the support has grown so much. I mean, that crowd last night, it's unbelievable. And that is not the crowd of someone who lost the state of Georgia. It's absolutely absurd on its face. And these past 4 years, we've seen their overreach, their overreaction. They've thrown everything to try to deny his victory in 2016. They were so arrogant then. They didn't have COVID as an excuse for a backup plan with the mail-in ballots. They said, no, we're not going to let this happen again. They don't want their power questioned. And that's why this fight is so, so very important. And we have to stand together and do what's right, go out and vote, and hold all levels accountable, because this corruption, it has to end, and it has to end now.
Yeah. Liz Harrington joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, talking about the election today. Certainly huge there in Georgia. And then I want to talk a little bit about tomorrow and what may or may not happen. The concerns that I'm hearing, and Liz, maybe you can answer this because, you have a lot of friends and you talk to a lot of folks. What is the biggest concern right now in Georgia? Because it feels to me as if the one thing that we have is that Republicans will go out and vote. I really feel like they get it, that they're prepared. I think the rally last night would show how prepared that they are in that state to go out and support these candidates. But there's always that chance, again, of the urinals leaking and all of this. But do you feel like the support fundamentally across the state is there? Because anytime you have an election that is happening outside of, let's say, the presidential election, the concern is always that there are going to be less people that are going to get involved. There are going to be less people. Although in this case, again, where the focus is just on Georgia, which is, I think in this case and where we are right now, politically, it's a good thing for the state that the people will be motivated and they see what's happening. But what are you hearing? I mean, you feel confident? Are you worried about any the shenanigans? Are you hearing anything else? Because I'm still concerned about the things that the Secretary of State in Georgia wouldn't even confirm for the president. The concerns about the ballots under the table and some of the other things that definitively have answers.
Well, absolutely. That's the concern. The concern is the system that they put in place in Georgia that they have not been transparent about at all. They're not giving an honest answer. I mean, I listened to that phone call. I think it's astounding to me that Brad Raffensperger thinks that that's a bad phone call for the president. The president was sharp. He was on it. He knew everything. He had facts. He had statistics. He had independent audits on his side. What did they have? They had no answers. They had, well, that's just misinformation or that's out of context. That's what the left does.
Right.
Well, tell us what the context is, because what is the context for slipping USB drives to one another? I mean, there's no context for that. There's no context for sending everyone home on a lie and kicking everyone out.
Right.
I mean, there's no answer. So that is my concern. I'm not concerned about people showing up.
Yeah.
They showed up yesterday.
Right.
I mean, I know the anger. I know the frustration. I know the feeling like this is, what does it matter? But I think the majority of Republicans are going to say, I got to do my part. I got to do what's right. But it is concerning. I mean, they still have this Dominion system that, you can't even check the machines. They won't let you. They're not auditing the signatures. They still have the same consent decree. I mean, the system they have in place is a joke. But just like November 3rd, we can still show up. We can break their system.
Right.
Because they don't have a backup plan really when we show up in overwhelming numbers and we crash the system because they had no idea.
Right.
So many Americans were woken up to what's going on in their country. And so that's what I have confidence in. That's what I have faith in. But we've got to have investigations. You know what would be great if something was on the ballot tomorrow, if Kemp and Raffensperger were on the ballot, because I don't think there's anything that would stop Georgians from throwing them out of office.
Yeah. No, that is true. They see all of this. I was kind of half laughing at the conversation that he was having with Martha MacCallum yesterday, because being grilled about the phone call, saying, I thought it was just a man-to-man conversation. What are you talking about? There was all the people that were on the call right there. That's like, you heard all the voices. You were sitting with somebody else. You knew that they were on the call. That in and of itself is absurd.
And it was not a man-on-man. It was, let's check with our lawyers and
Right.
this and that. It's like there was no straight answer whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's why we love President Trump, and that's why he's such a breath of fresh air. He's the same on that phone call as he was at the rally last night.
Yep.
He's a straight shooter, and he has no other agenda. You can see the agendas from all of these other people. There's always an ulterior motive, and people are just sick of it. We want to be told the truth. Enough of the obfuscation and the lies and just the delays. Just be straight with the American people.
Yeah. Liz Harrington joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We talk about the election today, how important it is in the state of Georgia, and we know that there'll be a whole lot of folks that are going to be ready to vote and in mass. And listen, that's how you get it done. And on the other side of it is tomorrow. And, I want to get your thoughts on this, because obviously you have a couple of things. People that I talk to, people that are looking at the situation tomorrow, and you have the House members, you have senators that are like, listen, we don't want to make this decision. This is out of our hands. We don't want to do this. We don't want to be the ones to decide what's going to happen with this election. And we shouldn't have to do this because constitutionally, that's not our gig. Okay, got it. There are some people that we noticed in the past that didn't want to take on certain cases because clearly they were worried about the pushback and the fallout and the doxing and the like. And you know how certain members of the left do it. They're even doing it right now. Dare that somebody would push back against something, and they'll be more than happy to show up at your door. And that's pretty disgusting. We don't need any of that. It would be nice if we had elected officials that would be there in places locally that would put a stop to that and an end to that, and quickly. But then there's the other side, and it's this. It was Jenna Ellis who brought this up yesterday, and I wonder if this is something to talk about. She brought up about that Mike Pence could certainly do what is constitutional, which everybody's been screaming about, which is the state legislatures. Listen, if you've got two set of electors coming from the state, I mean, it's clear as day. It seems to me like it's a perfect path. It's the one that really does the right thing constitutionally and does give it time to have the people that should be making the decisions make it, which is this, that when these slate of electors, even before the slate of electors are called, the suggestion would be that Mike Pence would say, hey, listen, before we do anything here, we want clarification from the states, the state legislatures, where Article 2, Section 1 constitutionally states that is who should be making these decisions, the state legislatures, when it comes to competing slates of delegates from the 6 states. So let's get some clarification. We can debate this, but let them come up with the answer. I think that's a good strategy.
I think it's the correct one as well, because you have a dispute here. Right. You have electors, and this got no attention, and so much of what's been going on behind the scenes, what's been going on in these different states. I mean, big media, it's just a complete blackout, big tech censoring it, but things are happening here, and that was a very important day on the Electoral College state, where there are electors from all of these different states for the Republicans as well. And that is following the Constitution. But what you said just there, the decision, right? What does Washington want to do? What do all these people want to do? They just want to pass the buck. Right. They just want to kick it down the road. They just want to delay and delay and delay. They don't want to have an actual hearing in court. They just want to stall and say, oh, well, it's too late. what can we do now? We're just going to have to accept this puppet candidate who's never going to be president anyway. We'll just have to, accept it, right? No. At a certain point, it comes decision time, and people are going to have to make decisions. And what did the founders say? They wanted those decision makers to be the closest to the people, that wouldn't have to be influenced by Washington, that wouldn't have to be influenced by other powers that be, foreign powers, foreign interference, everything else. They wanted it to be in the state legislatures, and there's clearly a dispute, and it's going to be decision time. And I think it starts tomorrow. We'll see what happens, but I think it's absolutely right. We want to just follow the Constitution. We just want to do what's right. We just want the true results. That's all we're asking for. And you notice the other side. They don't want they just say, no, that's misinformation. No. They'll just ignore it. Oh, it won't change the outcome anyway. That's a load of crap.
Yeah.
The reason the fraud was executed was to alter the outcome. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it. That was the explicit purpose. So we need to get to the truth. We need brave people to do the right thing. I mean, Antifa's already banging down Josh Hawley's door.
Yep.
He was the first one that said, I'm going to represent my constituents. And look at the momentum now on his side. That's what we need, just to stand up to these corrupt, evil people. That's what we need. And let the Constitution, it exists. It's lasted this long for a reason. Let the constitutional process play out.
Yeah. Amen and a woman. That's what I got to say about that, Liz Harrington. Hope I used that in proper context. Okay, good stuff. All right, Liz Harrington, I always love having you on, and we'll do this again soon, and we'll see how everything plays out. But no doubt about it. I love the idea that you brought out, which I think is an important one that we need to carry with us, not only now, but into the future, which is, listen, you can't beat back the masses who understand when they have a candidate that they support, that they come out en masse to support that candidate. It's going to take a lot for those that have nefarious purposes to do things and trick machines and all this other stuff if you overwhelm those machines. And so that's what we have to keep in mind. I love that, and I'll keep that in certainly in the conversation. All right, Liz, listen, have a great day, and we'll speak soon, okay? Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Drew.
All right,
Take care.
See you later. All right, 239-479-5592 is the Talkin' Text line, streaming live on the YouTubes for the time being at Drew Steele Radio. And also, if you go to Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio as well, and 925 Fox News, all three places. All right, it's Daybreak 925 Fox News. Right all along you are. Looking at you. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Right now, we're tracking major slowdowns along Daniels Parkway through Gateway out of Lehigh into Fort Myers. We do have a disabled vehicle at Daniels and Tree Line, really slowing things down at that intersection. So may want to plan around it by taking Colonial Boulevard. Midpoint Bridge getting very busy as well out of Cape Coral into Fort Myers, heading in the eastbound direction. The Cape Coral Bridge and the downtown 41 Bridge is looking pretty quiet right now. We do have part of McGregor Boulevard shut down starting today for some drain work between Dean Way and Winkler Road. So just plan your commute around that. That'll be shut down through January 25th. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News next.
Wink Weather Authority.
Have the jacket ready to go for your Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the 40s. Then we do rebound to 71 degrees. Still cooler than average, but man, it's going to be a beautiful day with all that sunshine from start to finish. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Southwest Florida's place to talk about
coronavirus. It's on the police.
Everything.
Give me liberty or give me COVID-19.
92.5 Fox News.
Hey guys, Dr. Amy here, your favorite chiropractor. We're back with your daily dose of Did You Know Chiropractic can help with that. And today we are talking about sleep. Did you know that chiropractic can actually help with your sleep cycles? So a lot now I have patients coming in saying that they're not sleeping well, that they have so much on their mind with everything going on in the world today, and they're not sleeping well, they don't have any energy. And a lot of times people don't understand that the top bone in your neck, your atlas, actually surrounds and supports your brainstem, which is the part of your brain that controls your sleep cycles. So if that part of your spine is out of alignment, it can actually cause an interruption in your circadian rhythm and cause you to not be able to get enough sleep, not be able to fall asleep, stay asleep, or get quality of sleep. So if that's you or a loved one struggling with sleep in today's society, then just know that chiropractic can help with that. Call us at 239-628-4899, and always remember, your power is on.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. Healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
So you're a small business, or a big one. You were thriving, but then, you encountered an obstacle. So how do you bounce back? You don't. You bounce forward. Time to think, plan, pivot. With Comcast Business and powerful connectivity, get serious internet that lets you go bigger. All powered by the nation's largest gig speed network. So you can do more searching, more sharing, more shipping, which means you've got more time for planning, for making, for running the show. That sounds great if everyone's in the office, but what if no one's in the office? Bring the office to them, from bandwidth at HQ to bandwidth at home. But is your network secure? Of course it's secure. It helps protect connected devices. But how do you do this? You don't do this. We do this together. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Go to ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Water everywhere. You can't swim in it, you can't stand drinking it. Heck, it's so bad it's on the news every day. Hi, I'm Rob Hill from Bob Hill Plumbing. We've invested over 66 years here in Naples, bringing you clean, drinkable water for your home or condo. We realize we can't fix the water problems everywhere, but we can definitely clean up the water inside your home. Our government does their best to deliver safe water for use. But wow, who wants chlorinated yellow water at every faucet? Let us install a Halo home filtration system and remove all the bad taste, color, and odor from your water. Halo removes 99% of all chlorine, ammonia, and all the bad-tasting chemicals in our municipal water system. Call Bob Hill Plumbing today and let us install a Halo water system in your home so you can once again enjoy clean, bottle-quality water at every faucet. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or bobhillplumbing.com.
I'm a salesman. I've pounded the pavement 35 years, literally. My legs ached, my feet hurt. It was just sometimes unbearable. I'm 71 years old and I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. But if you don't have a good attitude when you're in sales, it shows on your face. And you can't do that if your feet are aching all the time. I heard an advertisement on the radio for the Good Feet store, and I said, what can I lose?
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Val enjoy their work again without letting their feet get in the way.
I walked in the Good Feet store and I said, my feet hurt. And they said, well, let's see if we can do something about that. What a difference with these arch supports. After about 3 weeks of wearing them, there was just no pain. When I go and talk to my customers, I've got a smile on my face. I can go all day long, and then some. It's the real deal. I'm a salesman, and you can't fool a salesman. My name's Val, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Guys, has a little blue pill let you down again? We at MyMensClinic.com are open, seeing patients, and our expert medical staff will help you. We know that this year has been the toughest year any of us have had to endure, but the light is at the end of the tunnel. That being said, let's have 2020 go out with a bang and not a whimper. At MyMensClinic.com, we've helped thousands locally and many more nationally. Even if everything else has failed you, we can help. MyMen'sClinic.com doesn't believe in the one treatment fits all approach. We customize your treatment for you specifically. The appointment's only $149, and that's only if you see it work during your first visit. Otherwise, it's free. That's our guarantee to you.
Book your appointment today online at mensclinic.com or call 239-307-0125. That's 239-307-0125. 239-307-0125.
You know, for me personally, one of the things I love about Pentair, my water system in my home, is just peace of mind and the confidence that my family and my friends that come over are going to love the way my water tastes. And that's a good thing. Not just the taste, but the hard water drying out your skin and hair, damaging your appliances. It's a reason why it's doing all of that, because of what's in it. Call now for your free multi-point Pentair water test. Find out what your water's doing in your home. You're going to love the way your water tastes with your new Pentair water system like I do, and there's a big difference when you call a Pentair water specialist. Well, what is it? They're all trained, uniformed experts in our city and well water, so they know about what's going on here in Southwest Florida. You can have a wide range of water treatment options right in front of you, and they can install your new Pentair water system for you. Pentair has a new Easy Flow under-counter filtration system that is certified to reduce 99% of lead. And right now, you can save 15% on your whole home water system. 239-880-7799 or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. If you're waiting for a call back about vaccine registration in Lee County for COVID-19, you still may receive one. The CEO of the company running the Lee County call center says they'll continue to call people today to get them signed up for a time slot. Also, if you're expecting a call back, you have to answer it. If you don't answer the call, you lose your place in line to make an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Charlotte County is vaccinating people today and Wednesday by appointment only. However, all slots are filled. We know more dates will be announced very soon. And many of you who were lucky enough to get your first dose of the vaccine are wondering where and how you'll get your second shot. In Collier County, expect an email 21 days after your first vaccine. Now, in Charlotte County, they don't anticipate anyone needing their second dose next week, but they hope to have appointments available. In Lee County, they're sticking with the appointment system, and they're still working on logistics to make sure first and second dose individuals are not mixed together. Vaccinations begin today for those with appointments in Lee County. They will be given at the old airport terminal right off I-75. It's recommended to get there early. Southwest Florida International Airport says they will see heavy traffic on the north side of the airport property. DeSoto County is doing first come, first serve for people 65 and older at the Turner Center in Arcadia Wednesday. In Hendry County and in Glades County, all appointments are booked for clinics in LaBelle, Clewiston, and Moorhaven for a COVID-19 vaccine. Those appointments were taken by phone. A pedestrian who was hit by a deputy has died. The Florida Highway Patrol says the 70-year-old died last weekend. Troopers say the man stepped into a travel lane just north of Tree Farm Road. That deputy was placed on administrative leave as part of a sheriff's office review. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News Traffic.
Right now, we're tracking major slowdowns along Daniels Parkway through Gateway out of Lehigh into Fort Myers. We do have a disabled vehicle at Daniels and Tree Line, really slowing things down at that intersection. So may want to plan around it by taking Colonial Boulevard. Midpoint Bridge getting very busy as well out of Cape Coral into Fort Myers, heading in the eastbound direction. The Cape Coral Bridge and the downtown 41 Bridge is looking pretty quiet right now. We do have part of McGregor Boulevard shut down starting today for some drain work between Dean Way and Winkler Road. So just plan your commute around that. That'll be shut down through January 25th. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the chilly start with 40s and 50s, a nice and sunny day. Enjoy it. It will be cooler than normal with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Back down into the 40s and 50s. Have that jacket ready to go by Wednesday morning. Rebounding to near 70. Mostly sunny during the afternoon. Next chance of rain with just a few passing showers will be Friday morning with a cold front that reinforces our cool weather pattern towards the weekend. Highs in the 60s for your Saturday, clouds and sunshine, and then mostly sunny near 70 by Sunday. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
Tomato.
Tomatoes sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes sports page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
So, you're in the market for new appliances. You have a choice. You can chase around sizing up refrigerators, opening oven doors, poking your nose into top-load washers, while wondering if the quality meets your standards and the prices are fair. Or you can go to Good Deals Appliances. Starting at Good Deals Appliances makes all the sense in the world. They feature the top names in appliances like JennAir, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana. But the best part about shopping at Good Deals Appliances is their price guarantee. If you ever find a lower price on the same appliance, Jane and his team at Good Deals Appliances will beat it. Every time, guaranteed. When you need appliances, make your first stop your last stop. Good Deals Appliances. 3 locations to serve you. 41 at Gladiolus in Fort Myers, Pine Island Road in Cape Coral, and on Naples Boulevard near Lowe's and Costco in Naples.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Hey, hi. It's Drew Steele, 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, as you know, streaming live on YouTube for the time being at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. If you subscribe, at least we know you're watching, which is a good thing. And even on Facebook, if you want to watch, looking at you right now, at Drew Steele Radio or at 925 Fox News. Both locations on Facebook have us here as well. The top 5 audio clips coming up in just a second. Anything that you want to talk about, whatever is on your mind each and every day, right after the 5 at 8:35, we do our thing called The Thing. And that is whatever thing is on your mind. Maybe it's about the election today in Georgia. Maybe it's about the process tomorrow, January 6th. Maybe what will be happening on the streets of D.C. Maybe it's something here locally. Maybe it's the vaccine here locally and the way it's being distributed. Maybe it's about the governor. Whatever it is, you certainly can call, and that's what we do each and every day. We do The Thing right after we do the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. I am now in one of the most dangerous cities in America. The violent crime rate here is 158% times higher than the national average. I will be walking alone a lot. Just like I say in my ad, being a member of Congress is pretty basic. I don't go to work in an armored vehicle. I don't have personal police escorts. I am my own security here, and my most basic right is the right to defend myself.
Yeah, how dare she say this? This Colorado Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert and she's defying gun control laws in D.C. by carrying concealed to and from the Capitol. And I wonder what D.C. will do about that. That'll be pretty interesting. That was on Fox and Friends this morning. And listen, it's interesting that the rules package that the 117th Congress, along with gender-neutral terms and a man and a woman, and all of that, also has something in there that's prohibiting lawmakers from carrying concealed arms while on Capitol Hill. Well, that's interesting how the left plays that. And again, like I said, she's defending it. We'll see where it goes.
Number 4.
Country in a way that Vladimir Putin hasn't been able to do, that Xi Jinping hasn't been able to do, that the Ayatollahs in Iran have not been able to do. The serial killer is inside the house.
The serial killer is inside the house. Is he talking about a serial killer? MSNBC's Eugene Robinson this morning on MSNBC. So I know a lot of you didn't see this. Is he talking about a serial killer? Is he talking about somebody we should be concerned, worried, nervous about? No. He's talking about Republicans who won't vote to certify the Electoral College. Comparing them to serial killers, comparing them to Vladimir Putin and things that he tried to do and is trying to do, and harming the country, and Xi Jinping and the like, and Russia and China, and the comparisons and serial killers. Because when you're on liberal media outlets, such as like every single one of them, the best thing that you can do is throw out the rhetoric and go for it, like serial killers in the house, because you are doing something constitutionally. It's your constitutional right to object to and have a comment on the Electoral College. No, not near America.
Number 3.
Country in a way that
the most unhappy person right now anywhere in the United States is Hillary Clinton, because she's asking the Democrat Party, why the hell didn't you do this for me? True.
It's true. It's the president from yesterday, and the very sparsely attended rally in Dalton, Georgia. Not a whole lot of folks showed up, sorry to say. That's a joke, because there's a whole lot of folks that showed up. As a matter of fact, way too many for us to be confident that this president lost the election, or that Georgia is going to not go out and vote for David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. But yesterday saying Hillary Clinton is like, how come you guys didn't fight for me in 2016? Well, there's a whole lot of reasons for that. Yeah, you could say that.
Number 2.
That's not an answer to my question. Are you going to answer my question? Were you aware of the decision, and were you in favor of the decision to release the phone call, sir?
I think that we had to respond to the president's Twitter, and we responded with the facts that were in the call, and that's how it got out there. So now the world can just see what was in there. They can make up their own decisions, listen to the whole thing, both sides of the aisle, right down the middle, and they can make their own decisions.
Yeah, make their own decisions. That's fascinating. Martha MacCallum yesterday on Fox News with Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, talking about the phone call that was released and who did this. And I wonder why anybody would release that call that happened between the president and Mark Meadows and the lawyers with Raffensperger and elected officials there in Georgia. And she's just like, listen, who released? Did you release the call? And it's like, yeah, I got a little bit of I'm going to play some more of it. But yeah, I had a little bit of a grudge. I don't like the way he tweets. No kidding. Tweet came up a bunch of times in the conversation with her. And, the people had to hear what the conversation was. So yeah, I released it. It was like you can't handle the truth. It was, you're right, I did. I forgot the movie quote where he's like, you're darn right, I did the wall or whatever that was. A Few Good Men. I don't know. I'm not really good with movie quotes.
Number 1.
Governor, what has gone wrong with the rollout of the vaccine that we've seen phone lines jammed, websites crashing?
There's a lot of demand. I think at the end of the day, excuse me.
If I could finish my question.
You just said what has gone wrong, so I'm answering the question.
If I could complete the question, though.
So you're going to give a speech, or are you going to ask a question?
With all due respect, Governor,
you asked the question. I'm going to answer it.
I'm trying to finish my question.
No, you're giving a speech. You asked the question.
I am trying to ask you
You're going to ask how many questions? You get 3? They only got 1 question. Why do you get 3?
With all due respect, Governor, I'm just asking if I could finish my question.
You didn't. You finished the question.
That's Governor DeSantis from yesterday, where you had one of the CNN reporters going after the governor and, pressuring the governor on what's happening with vaccines in the state of Florida, which is humorous considering that you have Andrew Cuomo in New York and Gavin Newsom in California, who are allowing vaccines to expire before people can get the help that they desperately need because, they've got to do the right thing PC-wise. But they're brilliant. It's the governor that's the problem here in the state of Florida, right?
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
He's not the problem. The left is the problem in the country. It's the left that's doing this. You do realize that the 2022 governor's race has begun. It started weeks ago. And you're going to hear more and more from media locally and statewide and nationally that are going to go after the governor of the state of Florida because he's doing the right thing here. And when you look at what's happening with the Wuhan virus, hey, am I allowed to say that? I mean, if they're calling the new strain that's out there that's more that everybody is talking about and the concerns about this new UK strain, hey, if they can say UK strain, this one that's more contagious, why can't we say Wuhan virus? Because that's where it came from. Why is it okay to do the UK strain? Why do we have to say that? Well, okay, I'm just asking. But again, there's the governor there and the discussions about the approach when it comes to the virus. And we know what here in the state of Florida we've been able to do in businesses that are open and trying to get back to some sense of normalcy while following all of these directions that we've had to do for almost a year. And may I remind everybody of a couple of things that we were told that we have to do. We were told we got to flatten the curve. And then we were told 15 days to 30 days to stop the spread. We were told to do things like, we'll tell you when you can leave your house. We'll tell you what you can wear. We'll tell you when you can go to work. We'll tell you who you can see in private and in public. And we're still doing that now. That's what we've given up. That's what we've given up to the state. Not the state of Florida, but to the government. And a virus that we have a lot of questions being asked. By the way, we're going to do the thing. I want to hear from you, 239-479-5592, and your phone calls leading us up to the end of the program. A lot of questions. We're starting to hear now that the FDA yesterday joined the WHO and Dr. Fauci here. This is in Zero Hedge, and admitting there is a notable risk of false results from the standard PCR tests. You know, all the testing. Nancy Pelosi. Testing. Right, Nancy?
Bowl of doggy do.
Well, that's besides the point. Testing. And now we come to find out that the standard PCR test that we've been doing, used to define whether an individual is a COVID case or not, has false results that are in the 90% range. And the concerns about how the testing works, where this little small amount on a swab that is magnified, amplified millions of times, copied, where when you magnify it millions of times, you can say that there is a case there, but what's inside your body is so minute that it's not even communicable. But yet you're a case. And the PCR tests that have a lot of problems. Up to 90% of the people who tested positive didn't carry the virus. We're hearing about that in one story. 70% would no longer be considered positive with a CT of 30. That's the CT is one of the metrics that they use, and it's the cycle thresholds, the level at which widely used PCR tests can detect a sample of COVID. Again, getting this little tiny speck on the swab and then magnifying it and saying, oh, you got COVID, but I don't feel any symptoms. I'm not even sick. I'm barely got anything. As a matter of fact, I can't even communicate it because it's that small. But no, you got a case. And how the question now is, when people are talking about this, well, if the FDA says that there's problems with the PCR test, if the WHO says there's a problem with the PCR test, if Dr. Fauci is admitting that there's risk of false results from the PCR test, they're claiming now that the way to make a difference would be to say, well, you know what? Here's how we do less false positives. We lower the number, the cycle thresholds. In other words, if you get a speck on a swab and you have to magnify it millions of times, the speck on the swab number maybe needs to be lower. Those numbers need to be lower for the PCR test to kind of cycle out those that have such a minute level of COVID-19 that it's not even communicable or even affecting them. That's how we would get this. We can flush this out. Boy, if I were conspiratorial, I could make the case that, man, if somehow the FDA and the CDC came along and the WHO and all said, you know what? These tests, man, there's a lot of false numbers coming in. If we were to lower the threshold, we can get rid of that. Boy, it would be remarkable how all of a sudden the case numbers would go down, wouldn't it? It would sure look like Joe Biden saved the day. He came along and...
hey, Esther.
All of a sudden, we can have an economy that's booming again.
Economic intercourse around the world.
Who doesn't want that? Got a lot of questions. I have questions. Maybe you do. I know. We got to do the thing. Come on.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
All right, Todd's in Bonita's got a thing. If you want to call, 239-479-5592. It's all about you and whatever's on your mind. Here's the thing, and here's Todd in Bonita. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Drew.
Hey, buddy.
I just want to say briefly that I'm very thankful we have Governor DeSantis as our governor. We live in Florida, especially with all this COVID stuff and the lockdown mentality everywhere else. And I'm so thankful we didn't get Andrew Gillum, and I don't need to say anything more as governor.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And thanks for the call, Todd. I appreciate it. Could you imagine what that would be like? And the concerns that many have in 2022 of what maybe some individuals might be willing to do to see to it that a Democrat would be running the state in 2022 as opposed to this governor that we're told is doing such horrible things. Meanwhile, the reason why they go after him is because he's successful. Don't you see a pattern? At the left in this country, the media, whether it's local, state, or national, goes after this governor or goes after this president because they're successful, and they can't have that. Can't have it. All right, Rob's in Naples wants to weigh in on the COVID numbers. Go, Rob, quickly.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that you were mentioning that the numbers would drop precipitously for the positive tests. Wouldn't that also increase the mortality rate?
It would ultimately if the mortality rate is certainly high. Yeah, but the problem is, but also remember something. Could it possibly also lower the numbers of cases, Rob, that we see of people who, quote unquote, died with COVID? Well, then those with COVID cases would go away as well. And so would those reports of those deaths being because of COVID or with COVID as opposed to, I'm sorry, the cases that would go down with as opposed to because of COVID. Does that make sense?
Not really, because most of the people that are dying have pretty severe cases of COVID-19.
Yeah, no, not all of them.
Okay. Could you name a couple?
Of people that I know of? I mean, I can think of the Colorado case in particular of the person that was shot, died by bullet, but we're told that they died by COVID, and then they had to kind of retract that. I mean, there are a number of cases that happen. If you want to look up the Colorado case, that's one. I could probably find a bunch, but not right at this moment. But thanks for the call, Rob. I do appreciate it. How about Brian in Cape Coral? Brian had some comments. What are your thoughts there, Brian?
Jumping off your last one was also the guy out on 75.
Wait, is this still Brian? Brian, is that you, Brian?
Yeah. It's me.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I was looking at my call screen. I thought you dropped. Go ahead.
I said I was hopping off your last comment, which was the guy out on I-75 who died in a motorcycle accident, but yet was diagnosed as COVID.
Yeah.
Because caught him just before he ran off the road.
Right. Yeah. But Brian, but we got to stop, Brian. Rob says there's no cases. There's nothing like that. We got to stop. That's nonsense. It's not, you're not being fair.
Yes. But anecdotally, I am being fair. So we'll go that way.
Okay. Yeah.
I was calling you just to say that I got tested over the weekend with my kids, because my son called in sick to his job, and they said he had to get tested. So we went to CenturyLink. But if you look at the printout, which I do have a screenshot of, it only took 1 second for them to get it in the lab and to get a result. All of it came back negative, and they did do a mouth swab, which was detailed for later. But I'm just curious as to the primary one as to how they're able to obtain a result in literally 1 second.
Like they put the swab on it, it's like bing, just like that.
But they did the nasal swab,
okay.
But it shows on the printout literally that received in lab and then result. And you look at the time and it reads like 1:35:36 received, and then result is 1:35:37.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1 second or less, the result was given from a test. I'm just curious as to how that occurs.
Because technology is amazing. I don't know. I guess the bigger question, Brian, and the one that you're asking is, and the one that's unfortunate in all of this, and Brian, thanks for the call there in Cape Coral. I appreciate it. Here's the bottom line, everybody. Nobody's saying that COVID doesn't exist. Nobody isn't saying that people haven't died from COVID. But we also know what is and isn't. And we also know that these tests are flawed. And we also know that there are people that are insisting that testing is the way to go. But when we come to find out that there are people that are admitting, Dr. Fauci's admitting it, the WHO, the FDA, saying there's risks of false results because the tests are misleading. They're just not, they're not good tests. You can't ignore that. We'll dig into this story more tomorrow. I think it deserves more attention. And we will. Okay. Plus, we'll have the results for tonight. Big election in Georgia. Go, Georgia. Come on. Come on. Make it happen. All right. Let's find out what's going on with the remainder of the forecast with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
Have the jacket ready to go for your Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the 40s. Then we do rebound to 70.